All right. Thank you so much, guys, for joining unannounced. I hope you guys can hear my voice. Thank you, Mr. Professor. You have been one of our consistent WOWIF member, even though we don't have your registration with us yet. But you have been very consistent in supporting us every time we do our lecture. Thank you so much. Okay, guys, you forgive me and I'm going to speak English. We'll use some of this. We'll use Yoruba sometimes. I'm just wearing our normal cap. Make Yoruba language. Can you see it? Make Yoruba language again. Maybe let me adjust it properly. Make Yoruba language again. So thank you so much for joining us. You will see the topic. I'm going to use two computers to move in around so we can brainstorm inter-ethnic marriage in Yorubaland. You see my face, you used my face. So let's look at the presentation. Inter-ethnic marriage in Yorubaland. The polarization of the Yoruba community and destruction of the Yoruba political leadership. I'm going to use two families. I will use two families to sharpen your insight into why you have polarization of the Yoruba community. Sometimes many of you are aware Bible will support intermarriages. Otonio. The Bible support mamba reject. So we will use two families to depict the danger of inter-ethnic marriage in Yorubaland. You might recollect that there were many months ago, we did a lecture on sexual politics. There was a book that was written in 2018. It was released in a university in America, which concluded that the Yoruba nation has the highest intermarriage in Nigeria. And that is the reason why politically we are unstable, economically we are dwindling, and culturally we're losing touch with our civilization. So a woman wrote, there were 5 or 4 authors. The lead author was a woman, a Yoruba woman. And it was a damn, I think people should, our members should try as much as possible to help me to look for the title of that journal that was released in 2018 or so. Thank you very much, Mr. Kola. So we're going to use two families this evening. Now we welcome your calls. You can call us to our numbers, and then I will welcome your commentaries as well. We will be using two families, like I said, the Akeredolu family and the Adeleke family. Then you see the inherent danger in intermarriage. You'll see that. Let us first look at the 𝐏𝐫𝐞𝐬𝐢𝐝 family. We're going to use 3 bloodlines here. We will be looking at Ola 𝐾𝐫𝐞𝐬𝐢, Rotimi 𝐾𝐫𝐞𝐬𝐢, and Jide 𝐾𝐫𝐞𝐬𝐢. We want to look at their bloodlines. So then we will use this to ask ourselves some fundamental questions after looking at the bloodlines of these 3 generations. 3 generations. We're going to look at their bloodline. Don't forget, you can write it down somewhere. And as a matter of fact, I think I should do you some help and write it out. Ola 𝐾𝐫𝐞𝐬𝐢, Rotimi 𝐾𝐫𝐞𝐬𝐢, and Jide. Yeah. That's the bloodline that we want to look at. You see the inherent danger. Very simple. What is our objective for this simple research? What is our objective? We want to show you that inter-ethnic marriages in Yorubaland between Yoruba people and non-Yoruba people resulted in the polarization of the Yoruba communities. We don't agree anymore in Yorubaland. You will see some of these fundamentals. We tend to kill ourselves in Yorubaland. We don't give ourselves jobs in Yorubaland. Some people will say that even if you go to a Yoruba man to look for a job in Yorubaland, not in Igbo land, not in Hausa land, that such a Yoruba person would rather give Igbo the job or Hausa Fulani. And people propounded all manners of theories saying that we don't like ourselves as Yoruba people. We want to show you that these theories are flawed. Very, very simple. So, but we will show you that the inter-ethnic marriages in Yorubaland is the reason why we have polarized Yoruba communities. Is the reason for the destruction of the Yoruba political leaders from one generation after the other by the Igbo and the Fulani. Intermarriages is very bad. We can't pretend about that. I still have names of my niece and nephew, Amaka, one of my niece. You understand? So we can see this problem and we have to address it. Whether some people are happy or unhappy about it, it has to be addressed because it is destroying Yorubaland. It is destroying Yorubaland. I have a family member who is married to a Delta Igbo. That's how the guy described himself, but I call him an Igbo man. And I said to my family members, your children are born in Yorubaland. If they go against the interests, the welfare of the Yorubaland, I will be the person to send them back to where their father came from. We would not accept half Yoruba to continue to undermine our greatness as a people. So that is the objective of this research that we're trying to show you. It's a simple research. That is the objective. We want to show you how inter-ethnic marriages in Yorubaland between Yoruba people and non-Yoruba people resulted in the polarization of Yoruba community. That's why you continue to say all manners of things about Yoruba. Yoruba betrayer. Yoruba. No, we're going to flood it. Now, what are the materials that we're going to use for this simple research? What are the materials? We will use Ola and Grace. These are real personalities, real people. Is the material we're going to use. Ola and Grace, Rotimi and Betty, Jide and Mary, and Master 𝐏𝐫𝐞𝐬𝐢𝐝. Simple research. Simple. These are our materials. What are the procedures? This is what you're going to see now. Research is not very difficult to do, folks. You understand? It's a very simple way. Observations. You observe phenomena. Every given time, you'll be hearing people say, Yoruba máa ń gbàbọ̀dé fúnra wọn. Yoruba ò like ara wọn. Báwo ni? Yoruba máa ń para wọn ni. Yoruba jà civil war for 16 years. Àwọn English jà civil war for 11 years. English wọ́n para wọn. Ìgbà tí wọ́n para wọn títí, no resolve problem yẹn. Wọ́n wá lọ colonize Scotland. Wọ́n pa wọn. Wọ́n colonize Wales. Wọ́n colonize Ireland. Wọ́n tún wá máa colonize ẹ̀yin dúdú. Yorùbá náà at one point in time àti para wa rí náà. Kí ló dé tí Yorùbá wá advance beyond ogun tá a jà, ogun tá a pè ní Kírìjì? Kí ló dé tí Yorùbá yìí wà suppress dèní? Kí ló dé tí oríṣiríṣi àwọn èèyàn yìí colonize Yorùbá? Wọ́n colonize English náà kó má ro torí pé à ń condemn English pé English colonize wa. Àwọn Italy wọ́n lágbára jù nígbà kan, àwọn náà ń pè ní Roman Empire. Wọ́n colonize England. Torí colonialism, slavery yẹn, gbogbo èèyàn ló ṣe. Gbogbo èèyàn ló ṣe, kò unique sẹ́nìkan. Ẹ̀yin dúdú lẹ́kàn hold on to it. Lẹ́ẹ̀fílẹ̀ lẹ́kàn pariwo lójoojúmọ́ slavery. Àwọn èèyàn ti advance beyond that. Italy tẹ́ ẹ̀ rí yẹn, òun ni ó ń jẹ́ Roman Empire. Ó lágbára ńgbà kan, but kò lágbára mọ́. So the procedure of our simple research lẹ fẹ́ rí nsìn. Now what are these procedures? Now I will expand it for you to see. So kẹ́ má gbàgbé bá ṣe sọ, akọ, we are going to use 4 materials. Ola and Grace, Rotimi and Betty, Jide and Mary, and Master 𝐏𝐫𝐞𝐬𝐢𝐝. Now, if you look at the first generation in the map that you're looking at, the first generation, let me know that, okay, you see it clearly. Just keep your question for me. The first generation is Ola. Ola, a full-blooded Yoruba citizen. He married Grace. These are real people. He married Grace. Grace was a full-blooded 𝐏𝐫𝐞𝐬𝐢 woman. They had a son. The name of the son called Rotimi. Rotimi is half Yoruba, half 𝐏𝐽. You know what it means? Let me see you, folks. Rotimi has 50% Yoruba bloodline in him, and another 50% 𝐏𝐽 bloodline. So you get this? Because Rotimi's father was a full-blooded Yoruba citizen, Rotimi's mother was a full-blooded Yoruba citizen. Both of them, one produced a sperm, the other produced an egg, and both fertilized each other to produce Rotimi. Because of that combination, Rotimi is half Yoruba with 50% Yoruba bloodline. That's the first generation. Now, Ola is the first generation, and Grace, full-blooded Yoruba and full-blooded 𝐏𝐽. They produce Rotimi is the second generation. Rotimi with 50% Yoruba bloodline and 50% Igbo bloodline actually married Betty. These are real life situations. we're not, this is what we say in economic, categorical example, something that actually happened. So Rotimi would have Yoruba blood, 50%, and 50% Ijaw blood. Married Betty, a woman who is full-blooded Igbo, meaning that she's got 100% Igbo blood in her. So both of them produce a baby. The baby, Jide. So Jide has 25% Yoruba blood because Jide's father, Rotimi, who had only 50% Yoruba blood, is going to donate half of that blood to his child. And Rotimi also has 50% of Ijaw blood. Is going to donate half of that to Jide. Jide's mother, Betty, she's full-blooded Igbo. So she's going to donate half of that to Jide, which is 50%. So Jide now has 25% Yoruba blood, 25% Ijaw bloodline, and 50% Igbo bloodline. His name is Jide, implying a Yoruba person. But biologically and scientifically, is Jide truly a Yoruba person? Somebody that is only carrying 25% Yoruba blood? No, scientifically, he is not a Yoruba person, but he has a Yoruba name. So you can see that. These are true life stories. Now, Jide moves to the third generation. Jide with only 25% Yoruba bloodline. He married Mary. Mary is a full-blooded Urobo lady. These are true life stories. So their son will have 12.5% Yoruba blood, 12.5% Ijaw blood, 25% Igbo bloodline, and 50% Urobo bloodline. Their son will be the fourth generation. Their son, we have given him a name, Master Akeredolu. These are true life stories. Master Akeredolu has 12.5% Yoruba bloodline, 12.5% Ijaw bloodline, 25% Igbo bloodline, and 50% Urobo bloodline. That is the fourth generation. This, like I said to you, is the story of the current governor of Ondo State, Mr. Rotimi Akeredolu. Mr. Rotimi Akeredolu's father, called Ola, married an Ijaw woman called Grace. Together, they produce Mr. Akeredolu called Rotimi. Mr. Akeredolu is half-blood Yoruba. He will never defend Yoruba civilization. He's got what is called divided loyalty. White Americans, English, have written articles about this, medical journals about this. Even in Greece, where democracy started, they don't give opportunities to half-blood. That is the truth, because of divided loyalty. So you can see that. Now, if Mr. Rotimi Akeredolu, as governor, he will never protect the interests of the Yoruba nation. If the Yoruba nation decide to attack the Igbo for the imprisonment of Awolowo, or for the killing of Akintola, or for the annulment of Abiola's election, which are legitimate reasons for Yoruba nation to attack the Igbo, because nations do not forgive. Individuals can forgive, but nations must always, at every given point in time, take revenge. If we decide to attack the Igbo nation, because his wife is Igbo, he will undermine the Yoruba nation. He will tell the Igbo nation our secret, our plans to attack them for the atrocity they've committed against the Yoruba nation. Now, if somebody with 50% Yoruba bloodline in him would do that. Now let us think about Rotimi's son. Rotimi, because Rotimi Akeredolu has 50% Yoruba blood in him, he can only give half of that to his son, which is 25% Yoruba blood. His son's name is Jide. Jide has 25% Yoruba blood, 25% 𝐏𝐫𝐞𝐬𝐢 blood from his father's side. He has 50% Igbo blood in him. Jide and I are within the same age brackets. If I sit with Jide in a conference or in a political meeting, and I propounded a theory and said, the Yoruba nations will not allow Igbo nations or Igbo people living in Yorubaland to work in our police force, to work in our military force. Jide will not accept that. Now, Jide knows within himself that he only has 25% Yoruba blood in him, 25% 𝐏𝐫𝐞𝐬𝐢 blood, and 50% Igbo blood. Jide Akeredolu, the son of the current governor of Ondo State, is actually more Igbo than Yoruba. But look at that name, Jide Akeredolu. Now, when you see him, you concluded that this is a Yoruba person. He actually has more Igbo bloodline than Yoruba bloodline. His Yoruba bloodline is only 25%. So he will be naturally, because of that bloodline, he will support Igbo interests. Because he has got 50% Igbo blood in him. So he will undermine the greatness of the Yoruba nation. If we say we cannot accept Igbo to work in the military in Yorubaland, he will campaign against it. But because you only hear Jide Akeredolu, you will foolishly believe that it's Yoruba. And you would then say, okay, we are all one Nigeria. There is no need for us to discriminate against Igbo working in Yorubaland. You would tend to agree with Jide because he has a Yoruba name. That is why abroad, particularly in England and America, your background matters politically. Tí èèyàn bá jáde láti wá contest election, ìjọ yẹn náà máa mọ bàbá tó bí nílùú òyìnbó, wọ́n máa gbé gbogbo secret ẹ̀ jáde, wọ́n ṣe politics nìyẹn. Àwọn kan máa ń sọ fún wa pé ẹ má ta sí ẹni báyìí o, wèrè ni o, ó máa bú gbogbo èèyàn ni o. Politician ni wá. Ẹni tó bá ti jẹ́ politician tó ti jáde síta tó lóun fẹ́ rúùlù ìlú, tó lóun fẹ́ jẹ gómìnà, senator, prime minister lórí ìlú, ó pọn dandan kí wọ́n tú gbogbo ìgbésí ayé ẹ̀ síta, wọ́n ṣe ń ṣe everywhere yẹn, kéèyàn yẹn tó lè jẹ nǹkan. Ilẹ̀ Yorùbá lè kí ń tú iṣu désàlẹ̀ ìkòkò. Jide Akeredolu kò lè sọ̀rọ̀ fúnran Yorùbá, ọmọ gómìnà Ondo State, nítorí pé 50% of his bloodline is Igbo. Only 25% of his bloodline is Yoruba. Àwọn ló máa ń jẹ́ kílẹ̀ Yorùbá bàjẹ́. Wọ́n pọ̀ bí eṣú lọ nílẹ̀ Yorùbá. Torí ẹ̀ lẹ́ máa ṣe rí èèyàn kan ká sọ pé á jẹ́ Yorùbá, ẹ máa lọ sọ́dọ̀ ẹ máa lọ wáṣẹ́. Nítorí pé ó jẹ́ Yorùbá kò ní fún ẹ iṣẹ́. Ìwọ á máa sọ pé Yorùbá ò dáa. But orúkọ Yorùbá ló ń jẹ́, bloodline yẹn ò kì í ṣe Yorùbá. Ọmọ Akeredolu Jide 25% Yoruba blood lóní. Only 25% Igbo blood. Scientifically, he is not a Yoruba citizen, but his name is Jide Akeredolu. He has 50% Igbo blood. So he should be in Igbo land. He should be contesting election in Igbo land. No, he should not be in Yoruba land. He will ruin you. They are the type tó máa sọ pé we are one Nigeria. They are the type tó máa sọ pé ẹ lè discriminate. Àwọn Igbo tó wà nílẹ̀ Yorùbá, wọ́n gbọ́dọ̀ compete fún iṣẹ́ as Yorùbá ni. Nítorí pé Igbo ni. Look at his father, Rotimi Akeredolu, tó fún gbogbo iṣẹ́ Ondo State ó gbé fáwọn ọmọ Igbo ó ní we're one Nigeria nítorí pé ìyàwó ẹ̀ Igbo ni ó ní 50% Yorùbá blood in him torí ẹ̀ ni ò lè defend the interest Yorùbá. Mistake tí Yorùbá ṣe ni a máa ń parọ́ pa mọ̀wé akàwé àka ọgbọ́n orí. Bloodline ó matter. Get me? Jídé Akérédolú kò lè contest election fúnran Yorùbá ó máa báyé yín jẹ́ tọmọtọmọ ni nítorí pé only 25% blood ẹ̀ ní Yorùbá. Ẹ̀jẹ̀ máa ń rùn síyàn. Tán bá fi Jídé Akérédolú jẹ anything nílẹ̀ Yorùbá ó máa pa Yorùbá kò ní pa Igbo because ẹ̀jẹ̀ Igbo ni. This is pure science. Now, let's just quickly move away from Jídé Akérédolú. Jídé Akérédolú, with 25% Igbo blood, married a lady called Lake Mary. These are true life story. Mary, she is a full-blooded Urhobo. Ọmọ tí wọ́n bá bí lápè ní Master Akérédolú, ọmọ yẹn máa ní only 12.5% Yoruba blood. Ọmọ yẹn máa ní 50% Urhobo blood. Now, nítorí pé ọmọ yẹn ń jẹ́ Akérédolú, àwọn ló máa jẹ́ bí ẹgbẹ́ àwọn ọmọ tàwa. Tó bá wá dọjọ́ iwájú, ọmọ tó ní 12.5% Yoruba blood, á wá jáde, á wá ní pé bàbá òun ni governor Ondo State nígbà kan, grandfather òun ni governor Ondo State nígbà kan, Yorùbá lòun, ẹ dìbò fóun. Ẹ̀yin náà nítorí pé ẹ mọ̀wé, ẹ máa wá dìbò fún ẹni tó ní 12.5% Yoruba bloodline. Tó jẹ́ pé ó ní 50% Urhobo bloodline. Ẹ máa wá dìbò fún, kò wá ní fún àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá níṣẹ́, á máa ti àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá mọ́lé, á máa pa àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá. Ẹ máa sọ pé Yorùbá ò dáa, ẹ máa sọ pé Yorùbá ń gbàbọ̀dé, ẹ mọ̀ pé jẹ̀ ló ń rùn ni. Yomi A, let me show your statement to people before I insult you. Let me show your statement. This is the nonsense he wrote. Yomi A. But the problem is that full-blooded Yoruba hardly come out to contest. You are foolish for saying that. Full-blooded Yoruba ò kì í jáde wá contest election lẹ Yoruba. Mo rò wọ́n sà sí yàrá jà ẹ̀. Olòṣì. I'm very sure pé ò kì í ṣe Yoruba ló ṣe ń sòṣì ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn. You guys are destroying the full-blooded Yoruba. Ẹ ń pa wọ́n. Ẹ ń pa full-blooded Yoruba nílẹ̀ Yorùbá. Ó ní full-blooded Yoruba ò kì í jáde. Àwọn wo náà máa ń pa? Ṣé Fúlàní àti Ìgbò ti pa half Yorùbá rí? Ṣé half Yorùbá ti jáde fẹ́ jà fúnra Yorùbá rí? Name that half blood Yoruba tó ti jáde fẹ́ protect interest Yoruba. Awolowo is full-blooded. Abiola is full-blooded. Tinubu is full-blooded. Name that half Yoruba tó ti fẹ́ forí kó jábìn fúnra Yorùbá rí. You are talking rubbish, idiots. Yoruba ò kì í jáde fẹ́ wá dìbò. Full-blooded ò kì í jáde. Foolish man. Don't upset me this evening. Obama got to so Nico, shut up. I don't know why he has not been removed, sir. So you get it, folks. So first generation, only full-blooded Yoruba. Or produce second generation, Rotimi Akeredolu, only 50% Yoruba blood. Rotimi Akeredolu, or produce the third generation, Jídé Akérédolú, only 25% Yoruba blood. Jídé Akérédolú fẹ́ ọmọ Urhobo. Ìyẹn ní ọmọ tán bí Master Akérédolú only 12.5% Yoruba blood. Ẹ máa wá sọ pé Yorùbá ń gbàbọ̀dé fúnra wọn. Ẹ máa sọ pé Yorùbá ń bìtì ara wọn. Ẹ máa sọ pé Yorùbá ń dára wọn. Yorùbá ò kí ń bìtì ara wọn. Yorùbá ò kí ń dalẹ̀ ara wọn. Ẹ̀yin tí ẹ jẹ́ ọ̀dẹ̀ tẹ́ ẹ mọ̀wé lẹ believe pé Yorùbá ń bìtì ara wọn. Kì í ṣe full-blooded ló bìtì Awólọ́wọ̀. Àwọn ọkọ mo fẹ́ máa rí wọn tó ń twist ẹ̀ wọ́n lóhun àti Akíntọ́lá. Akíntọ́lá ń protect interest ara ẹ̀ wọ́n yọ Ọọ̀ni of Ifẹ̀ yọ. Ó lọ sí court kò sọ pé káyé Awólọ́wọ̀ bàjẹ́. Àwọn Tafawa Balewa àti Zik ló lu opportunity yẹn láti fuck up ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. So nǹkan tá a fẹ́ fi wọ̀nyí with this research ni pé kò ń ṣe full-blooded Yorùbá ló ń dalẹ̀ Yorùbá. Ṣèbẹ̀rí nǹkan tí màá máa ń sọ Bọ̀dé George. I asked somebody pé kó fún mi ní link, ó sọ pé Bọ̀dé George ò kì í ṣe Yorùbá. There was a time tí mo sọ fún yín pé 1855 Yorùbá bá English jagun. Ogun tá kọ́kọ́ bá wọn jà 1851 ni o, lórí Èkó. Ní 1855, go and read history. Àwọn English gbé ship ní England, wọ́n kó àwọn dúdú sí, dúdú from all over Africa tó ti gba freedom wọn ní England tó fi wọ́n ṣẹrú. Wọ́n kó wọn sí, wọ́n wá dá wọn sékòó. Madam Tinubu tó jẹ́ great grandmother Bọ́lá Tinubu yìí, òun ló kó ìbọn jáde tó bá àwọn English jà, tó fún Yorùbá níbọn. Iyọ̀ àtẹrú ló máa ń tà. Owó tó fi ń ṣòwò ló fi ràbọn fúnran Yorùbá. Ara àwọn ẹrú tí ò kí ń ṣe Yorùbá tí wọ́n wá dump sékòó, òun ni Bọ̀dé George grandfather wà. Bọ̀dé George tó wà lÉkòó yẹn kì í ṣe Yorùbá. Bọ̀dé bá kan rí tó ń sọ̀rọ̀ tó ń attack Tinubu every now and then. Ebi kọ́ ni mo ṣe findings yìí o. Ẹni tó ṣe findings yẹn another group náà wà. Wá ẹ̀fọ́ ló ṣe. So mi ò lè sọ̀rọ̀ lórí ìyẹn ju bí mo ṣe sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ lọ. Yorùbá ò kí ń dára wọn. Nǹkan tí mo fẹ́ kẹ́ mọ̀ lálẹ́ nìyẹn. Yorùbá ò kí, ẹni tó bá ń undermine interest Yorùbá, tó bá ń lo orúkọ Yorùbá, kì í ṣe ọmọ Yorùbá. Jídé Akérédolú, ọmọ Rótìmí Akérédolú, governor Ondo State. Jídé Akérédolú ò kì í ṣe Yorùbá. Jídé Akérédolú has only 25% Yoruba bloodline. He has 50% Igbo bloodline. He is more Yoruba, Igbo than Yoruba. He married an Orobo lady, Mary. They have Master Akérédolú. Master Akérédolú only has 12.5% Yoruba bloodline. In future, he will come out to say he wants to rule Yorubaland or want to lead Yoruba. He will destroy the future of our children. Yorubaland is the only space in this world that I know that does not bring out the background of politicians, people who want to contest for election. Before election, you should bring it up. Why did you think that we supported Akérédolú during the Ondo State second term? We rejected him. We were supporting a younger governorship candidate under APC, but the guy couldn't get the ticket. So Akérédolú got the ticket. And I said to our members and the executive of YF that we supported Yoruba APC. Even though we don't like Akérédolú, we have to support him because he's a member of our party. That was it. We hated the guy. We couldn't do anything because our party gave him the ticket. If the SDP had merged with AD, we could have had a better opportunity or alternative. Even PDP Yoruba brought out Jegede, a man who has Igbo as a wife. So it was a big dilemma. Akérédolú is half Yoruba, married to an Igbo woman. You remember the wife stole the money of Ondo State, money meant for cancer research, cancer center. There was a woman who died, Betty Akérédolú. She used that woman to ask for money. That woman died of cancer without treatment. She died an excruciating death in serious pain. Betty Akérédolú, an Igbo woman who is a first lady in Yoruba State, stole the money meant for cancer research and cancer center. Because she's Igbo, she doesn't care. She would rather spend that money on an Igbo citizen in Igbo land to get treatment. So don't always believe somebody is Yoruba when they mention their name. Akérédolú Rótìmí is 50% Yoruba bloodline. Jídé, his son, has only 25% Yoruba bloodline. Jídé's son, Master Akérédolú, has only 12.5% Yoruba bloodline. All of these three generations will destroy you if you give them political power. So what is the outcome of our simple research? That's what I've explained to you. Rótìmí Akérédolú, the current governor of Ondo State. You understand? I want you to read it broadly. You read it. This is the outcome. You understand? Rótìmí Akeredolu, the current governor of Ondo State, has only 50% Yoruba bloodline. He does not support the political interests of the Yoruba nation and has a divided loyalty to the cause of the Yoruba nation and our people. He will never support a war with the Igbo or 𝐏𝐽𝐽 because of his bloodline with the two nations. His wife is Igbo. His mother is 𝐏𝐽𝐽. His mother was 𝐏𝐽𝐽. That is it. Now, secondly, Jide Akeredolu, the son of the current governor of Ondo State, has a Yoruba surname, but more Igbo than being a Yoruba, because he has 50% Igbo bloodline, 25% Yoruba bloodline, and 25% 𝐏𝐽𝐽 bloodline, because he married to an Yoruba woman. Master Akeredolu, the grandson of the current governor of Ondo State, has a Yoruba first name and last name, but not a Yoruba citizen. He has only 12.5% of the Yoruba bloodline, 12.5% of the 𝐏𝐽𝐽 bloodline, 25% of the Igbo bloodline, and 50% of the Yoruba bloodline. He is more Yoruba than being Yoruba. So you get that? You get that now? That is about Akeredolu. We showed you the kind of research that we wanted. We wanted you to know. And we provided an answer to that. Amen. Ẹ má jẹ́ kó máa tàn yín mọ́ pé Yorùbá ò dáa. Yorùbá ń jẹra wọn lẹ́sẹ̀. Bọ̀dé George of PDP. Tẹ́ bá fẹ́ mọ ẹni tó jẹ́ half Yorùbá, believe you me, PDP náà pọ̀ sí. 90% of all PDP political leaders nílẹ̀ Yorùbá, wọ́n ṣe ọmọ Yorùbá. Wọ́n mọra wọn, ẹ̀yin lẹ̀ mọ̀ wọn. Imagine you sit down with Jide Akeredolu, ẹni tó ní only 25% Yorùbá blood. Ìwọ jẹ́ Yorùbá, ó wá lọ sọ́dọ̀ ẹ̀, ó wá sọ fún pé ní máa gba àwọn Igbo, pé àwọn Igbo ti take over Èkó, pé wọ́n kàn wá ní pẹ̀lú crimes. Gbogbo ibi tó dá lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ làwọn Igbo ti gbà. Wọ́n ti gba Lẹ́kì, wọ́n ti gba Victoria Island, wọ́n ti gba Ìkòyí, wọ́n ti gba Sùúrùlérè, wọ́n ti gba Ìkẹjà. Gbogbo ọjà làwọn Igbo ti gbà pátápátá. Wípé a gbọ́dọ̀ formulate policy tá à ní jẹ́ kí Igbo rọ́nà lọ. You understand? Pé ìyẹn ni ká pa ṣe. Ẹni tó jẹ́ 50% Igbo blood ló ń bá jókòó nítorí pé orí kó lórúkọ Yorùbá. Ó máa sọ fún ẹ pé no. Oye, ó máa sọ fún ẹ pé no. Can you help me to remove this guy called Yomi? I want him to be removed. He's an idiot. I don't think our admin are here. That's why you're just here answering nonsense. Ó máa sọ fún yín pé no ni. Do you understand? And tó ní 50% Igbo blood nínú ẹ̀. Ó wá sọ pé ó fẹ́ gba gbogbo ọjà lọ́wọ́ àwọn Igbo. Kò ní gbà. So tí wọ́n bá ń debate in public, nǹkan tá a fi ń sọ pé Yorùbá is an illiterate society nìyẹn. Gbogbo eléyìí ó simple sí ìwọ wo royal family, àwọn family ọba ní England. Nítorí pé Meghan Markle ó ní ẹ̀jẹ̀ dúdú díẹ̀, wọ́n ló máa bà royal family jẹ́. Ṣé kò bá jẹ́? Nínú family tó bá fẹ́ yàwó wá síbẹ̀, gbogbo secret family yẹn kò lè sọ síta. Kò ní sọ. Meghan Markle ò rí tó ṣe ń grant interview tó lọ ń ba family yẹn, royal family wọn ni ó lọ ń bà wọ́n jẹ́, ó ń sọ̀sọ́kúsọ ń pa wọn, ó ń sọ orúkọ tó ń pe ọmọ wọn. Tán bá fẹ́ wá sínú ilé, gbogbo ìwọ̀sí tó bá gbà ń bẹ̀ wá gbà mọ́ra ni. Family ni secret máa ń wà ní family, wo bó ṣe lọ sọ síta. Do you understand? Bó ṣe lọ sọ síta gbangba tó lọ grant interview, nítorí pé ó ní ẹ̀jẹ̀ dúdú ni. Tó bá jẹ́ pé ìyá ẹ̀ àti bàbá ẹ̀ funfun ni wọ́n, gbogbo secret royal family ẹ̀ mẹ́nu mọ́ ni kò ní sọ síta. Ṣebí Yorùbá ló máa ń sọ, ó gbọ́dọ̀ fẹ́ Jẹ̀bú o. Àwọn kan Yorùbá síra wọn ni o. Wọ́n ní àwọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ fóòndó o. Ṣùgbọ́n ẹ ti ń làdílẹ̀ fún Igbo, ẹ ti ń làdílẹ̀ fún Haúsá. Wọ́n ti wá dilute blood yín. Politically ẹ̀ wá strong mọ́. Economically, ẹ ti wà useless. Culturally, gbogbo culture yín ti bàjẹ́. Majority àwọn tó máa ń wà lórí Instagram, tó máa ń ṣọ́yàn lẹ̀, tó máa ń ṣìdí sílẹ̀, tí wọ́n máa ń sọ Yorùbá fluently. Wọn kì í ṣe Yorùbá, àwọn ọmọ àlè Yorùbá ni, àwọn ọmọkọ́mọ, àwọn tí blood wọn ti wà diluted. I'm telling you today, research that is sharing, èmi ti ní personal experience. Gbogbo pains mi ní UK, nígbà tó arrest mi fún terrorism, àwọn full-blooded Yorùbá ló support me financially. Kò sí half Yorùbá kankan tó support me. Mi ò kí ń béèrè owó lọ́wọ́ èèyàn, ojú máa ń tì mí, mi ò ń ṣe. But àwọn full-blooded Yorùbá, they stood by me. Full-blooded Yorùbá ò kí ń dára wọn, ẹ má máa jẹ́ kán tàn yín mọ́. Ẹ wo bloodline àwọn Yorùbá tó máa ń da Yorùbá, bloodlines ní kẹ́ wò. Fẹ́mi Fani-Káyọ̀dé ò kí ń ṣe Yorùbá, Fúlàní ni. Ọbásanjọ́ ò kí ń ṣe Yorùbá, Ìgbò ni. Ẹ ṣe simple research lórí Ọbásanjọ́, ẹ wá pé okay, kí lorúkọ bàbá ẹ̀, gbé picture bàbá ẹ̀ wá. Tó bá ti gbé picture bàbá ẹ̀ wá, ẹ wá wo àwọn siblings bàbá ẹ̀. Ẹ wá wo àwọn nieces and nephews bàbá ẹ̀. A lè trace ti Ṣóyínká, a lè trace ti Fẹlá. Àmọ́ bàbá Ṣóyínká, àmọ́ great grandfather Ṣóyínká, àmọ́ bàbá Ọbásanjọ́ nílẹ̀ Yorùbá, àmọ́ great grandfather ẹ̀. A lè trace bàbá Fẹlá, a lè trace grandfather Fẹlá, a lè trace kankan pẹ̀lú Ọbásanjọ́ nílẹ̀ Yorùbá. Ó dẹ̀ continue láti máa purọ́ fún yín pé Yorùbá lọ, ó dẹ̀ ń ṣe nǹkan ibi sí yín. So ẹ má máa gọ̀ mọ́. Master Akérédolú ń sìn tó bá dàgbà, ẹni tó ní 12.5% Yorùbá blood, tó ní 25% Igbo blood, tó ní 50% Urhobo blood, tó ní 12.5% Ìjọ blood. Àwa máa represent ẹ̀rí bó ti wà diluted. 12.5% Yorùbá blood, 12.5% Ìjọ blood, 25% Igbo blood, 50% Urhobo blood. Nítorí pé ó ń jẹ́ Master Akérédolú, gbogbo yín máa conclude pé Yorùbá ni. Ẹ wàá dìbò fún, ayé yín máa bàjẹ́ lọ́tùn lósìn. Ẹ̀rí bọ́n ṣe ń pààyàn lọ́yọ̀ọ́ ni. Because Ṣèyí Mákindé, bàbá ẹ̀ ní Yorùbá, ìyá ẹ̀ Ìgbò, ìyàwó ẹ̀ Ìjọ, kò kàn. Torí pé kì í ṣe full-blooded, ẹ̀jẹ̀ òró. Tó bá yẹ pé full-blooded Yorùbá ni, ikú tí Fúlàní ń pa yín lénìí lọ́la táwọn Ìgbò ń pa yín á ti end ẹ̀ ní Ọ̀yọ́ state. Kò kàn. Bloodline ó wà very important. Bloodlines ó wà very, very important. Kò sí ìlú tó máa ń fojú di. Now let's continue and use the second family. Inter-ethnic marriage. Bad for the Yoruba nation. Now let's look at the second family. Now, this is the photograph of Mr. Raji Adeleke, late Raji Adeleke. Late Raji Adeleke was a 100% full-blooded Yoruba citizen. Let us look at quick information about him. He was a full-blooded Yoruba man. He married a full-blooded Igbo woman. That is the story. They gave birth to a boy called Deji Adeleke. Do you understand? This is scientific. Let us look at Deji Adeleke. That is the picture of Deji Adeleke. Deji Adeleke, because his father, Raji Adeleke, was 100% Yoruba man. Deji Adeleke took 50% of his blood from his father, meaning that he has 50% Yoruba bloodline. He has 50% Igbo bloodline. So the 𝐏𝐫𝐞𝐬𝐢𝐝 is half Yoruba, half Igbo. You understand? It's scientific. It's proven beyond any reasonable doubt. That's a statement of fact. This man you're looking at is not a full-blooded Yoruba. It's half Yoruba. So naturally, he would never support anything in Yorubaland that will undermine the Igbo because of his bloodline. He will rather undermine the interests of the Yoruba nation if we want to do anything against the Igbo nation than for him to support Yoruba interests because of divided loyalty. Bloodline is very important. It's written in the Bible, which I'm going to show you now. So he, as a half Yoruba man, he married a full-blooded Igbo woman. And the two of them gave birth to a son called David Adeleke. And if you're following me, you know where I'm going to. This is the picture of David Adeleke. You've seen this. That is David. You guys call him Davido, right? This is very simple. David Adeleke is actually more Igbo than Yoruba because David Adeleke's mother was a full-blooded Igbo woman, 100% Igbo blood from the mother. So it takes half of that blood from his mother. So he's got 50% Igbo blood. His father, from his mother. His father is half Yoruba. That is 50% Yoruba blood, half Igbo. David Adeleke's father. So David Adeleke takes 25% of the Yoruba blood from his father. 25%. And 25% of the Igbo blood from his father. You see? Making 100%. 50% Igbo blood from his mom, 25% Yoruba blood from his father, another 25% Yoruba Igbo blood from his father. So David Adeleke that you all call Davido, is actually not Yoruba. Scientifically. Because he's got 75% Igbo blood flowing in his vein. That is why you go and say, this is a research that we've done. Look at the circle of his friend in music. The people managing his music are predominantly Igbo. It is because of that blood. So if Yoruba is not an illiterate society, nobody will call David Adeleke Davido a Yoruba citizen. It's not. Bloodline matters. You can't wish it away. That was why it was so convenient for this boy, David Adeleke, to connive with the Igbo to plan the NSAS to destroy Lagos, kill Sanwo-Olu, kill Tinubu, because of his bloodline. Stupid boy. After that carnage, the idiot wanted to be making music in Lagos. The same Lagos, he led other Igbo to go and destroy. So now, if you see David Adeleke, you go there, you go to him for help as a full-blooded Yoruba and say, hey, Davido, I'm broke, Joe, help me. Let me promote music, me, Joe, good music. He will not. Tikoba promote Zoo. Mama soka kiri pe Yoruba ò dá wọn fúnra lọ́wọ́ wo David now. Ọmọ Igbo yẹn ló lọ promote music ẹ. Ọmọ Igbo yẹn ló ṣe báyìí fún. Àwọn Yoruba máa báyé ara wọn jẹ́. Unknown to you, he's got 75% Igbo blood in him. He has only 25% Yoruba blood. So Omar gravitates towards the Igbo interest. So you get this. No, wife. Our parents were man no one but akere ká lọ sí school. Ó dá ti kàwé. So a gbọ́dọ̀ lo ọpọlọ ẹ̀ fún ìran Yorùbá. Ìyẹn la fi ń jí yín sílẹ̀. Mistake lẹ máa ń ṣe pé Yorùbá máa ń dára wọn. Yorùbá ò ń dára wọn sẹ́. A ti study election nílẹ̀ Yorùbá. Jẹ́ kó di 2023 kan gbé Tinubu jáde ní APC. Ó máa ní 100% vote. Ó máa shock yín. But nísìnyí, àwọn half Yorùbá yẹn ti pọ̀. Wàá rí pa máa hàn mú wọn ni. Wàá rí. A máa ṣe wọ́n ní ṣùtà. Àwọn half Yorùbá yẹn. Àwọn tó wà vociferous nínú wọn. A máa identify àwọn máa ṣe wọ́n ṣùtà ni. tá a bá ṣe wọ́n ṣùtá wọ́n máa continue láti báyé jẹ́ ni ẹ̀jẹ̀ ló ń rùn lára wọn. So you can see it. David Adeleke is not a Yoruba boy, actually. Scientifically, he's Igbo. He has 75% Igbo blood in him. Torí ẹ̀ ló ń ẹ ṣe kẹ̀. Torí ẹ̀ ló ṣe máa ń ṣe bí wèrè. So David Adeleke with 25% Yoruba bloodline, he got engaged with a full-blooded Igbo lady, Chioma. They had a son. That son is this boy you're looking at. That is Ifeanyi Adeleke. You see, let me give credit to Davido here. A number of you, as you were so confused that he gave his son Ifeanyi. Ifeanyi actually has only 12.5% Yoruba blood in him. You see that? That Ifeanyi's Davido boy is a almost full-blooded Igbo. So Davido was actually right when he named him Ifeanyi. Davido has 25% Yoruba blood in him. So half of that 25% he gave to his son, which is 12.5. He has 75% Igbo blood in him, David Adeleke. He gave half of that to his son. Ifeanyi's mother, Chioma, she is full-blooded Igbo. So she gave half of that blood to Ifeanyi. That is the reason why Ifeanyi Adeleke, Davido's son, is only 12.5% Yoruba bloodline. Now look at David Adeleke, Davido, that you all know. Is he ever going to support the Yoruba agenda for Yoruba to be president of Nigeria? No, he will root for Igbo because he's got 75% Igbo blood in him. Do you understand that? Yeah. David Adeleke would never, Davido, he would never support or campaign for Yoruba to be president of Nigeria because he has 75% Igbo blood. In private and in public, he will not. It's not Yoruba. It's a matter of the bloodline. In future, his son, Ifeanyi, will come out. Let's look at the boy. This is the boy. He will come out with your own children and say to the public, my name is Adeleke. My father was Davido. My grandfather was this. My great-grandfather was this. He will be able to trace his bloodline to Yoruba, but he's only got 12.5% Yoruba blood. Because of that foolishness, you will now queue and say, he's our son, but it's not your blood. So you put him in position of authority, he will destroy Yorubaland. He's got only 12.5% Yoruba blood in him. Davido is already doing that. This is proven beyond any reasonable doubt. Davido joined forces with other Igbo musicians to destroy Lagos, to kill Tinubu and Sanwo-Olu, because he's got 75% Igbo blood in him. These are not imaginary statements. These are facts, things that happen. This boy, by the time we grow old and do nothing to look at the background of every single individuals who want to contest for political offices in Yorubaland, if we fail to dig out their background, this guy, Ifeanyi Adeleke, with only 12.5% Yoruba blood, might be your governor one day. And what is your children going to do? Their life, your children who are full-blooded Yoruba, they will be enslaved because this guy has more than 85% Igbo blood in him. Somebody with 85% Igbo blood, you then make him your governor because his last name is Yoruba name. You fucked. There's so much illiteracy in Yorubaland. That's why I keep saying to my colleague in YY, she wanted me to have a different outlook to Yoruba politics, that Yoruba are so fucked up mentally. But I keep saying to her that we have imbibed the good spirit in English and in white Americans. We can actually impress this on the Yoruba people. And I keep saying to her, YYF as a movement, our focus is not the entire Yoruba nation. It is the leadership of the Yoruba nation. Leadership Yoruba, to be key into what we are saying, we might change the subject, the electorate. We might change one. The electorate will continue to be the majority illiterate. Àwọn tó ń rule ìlú òyìnbó ní England, America, àwọn leaders wọn ló máa ń mọ̀wé. Àwọn tó ń dìbò fún wọn, tó ń dìbò fún wọn, illiterate ni most of them máa ń jẹ́. So torí ẹ̀ nílùú wọn ṣe dáa. Àwọn tó ní làákàyè, tó ní ọgbọ́n, tó ní ìmọ̀ ló máa ń wà níjọba. Ẹ sọ pé ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ò gòkè àgbà. Ẹ ń fún àwọn tí ò ń ṣọmọ Yorùbá jẹ governor. Ẹ ń fún àwọn tí ò ń ṣọmọ Yorùbá jẹ senator. Orí nǹkan tó ń ṣe, wọ́n gbé kinní kan wá, wọ́n ní pé states. Wọ́n ní pé wọ́n fẹ́ create 20 additional states. Ní Igbo land alone, wọ́n fún wọn bí states bí 6 sí 7. Wọ́n fún yín bí 2 nílẹ̀ Yorùbá. Àwọn kan sọ pé ṣáwa náà ní representative níbẹ̀ yẹn ni. Nígbà tẹ́ ti fa àwọn half Yorùbá sí representative yín. Ayé yìí máa fuck up ní now. Tẹ́ bá fi full-blooded Yorùbá kó jẹ́ representative, wọ́n á ti dá National Assembly rú. Take a list. We're doing the research. Gbogbo àwọn Yorùbá tó wà ní nígbà Jonathan National Conference, we did that. A fẹ́ ṣe yẹn sí gbogbo àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá tó wà ní Senate. Ó máa shock yín pé more than 70% wọn ni half Yorùbá. Ayé yín ò lè dá wọn lè push anything for your sake. Yorùbá tó jẹ́ senator ní Abuja, more than 70% wọn ni ó jẹ́ half Yorùbá. Ẹ dẹ̀ fẹ́ kàn push fún your case. Ẹ gọ̀. Àwọn ọmọ Igbo tó jẹ́ senator gbogbo wọn ni full-blooded ní Abuja. Àwọn ọmọ Hausa Fulani tó jẹ́ senator gbogbo wọn ni full-blooded Fulani. But ẹ̀yin Yorùbá, àwọn tó ń represent yín half Yorùbá ló pọ̀ jù. Wọn lè ever push cause ẹ gbàgbé ẹ̀. Ẹ mọ nǹkan tó ń jẹ́ bloodline. Torí ẹ̀ lẹ ṣe fi ìpè gbogbo èèyàn náà máa ń láti sílẹ̀ tó kàn ti pump ẹ̀, tó fún lóyún, wàá tún lọ ó fọmọ Hausa, ó fọmọ Igbo, ìran ẹ ló ń ba yí ẹ̀jẹ̀, ó wà ní Bíbélì. Now, I want to give you 3 arguments against those who seek to marry out. 3 simple arguments. Those who seek to marry out, those who are Yoruba, tó fẹ́ lọ fẹ́ ọmọ Igbo àti ọmọ Fulani. Let us look at these 3 arguments. Why we are against it. 3 arguments against those who seek to. Identity arguments. Identity argument. If you marry outside Yoruba ethnic groups, you betray your own real self. You betray your own real self. Because some of you, you're not thinking about the future of those children that you are going to bring forth. So identity argument, the children you are going to bring forth will not be your own identity. They won't have the same identity as you. That's number 1 reason why you need to think long and hard about marrying outside Yoruba. We're more focused on inter-ethnic marriage. Let us look at the religious arguments. Inter-ethnic marriage in the Bible is a betrayal of one's God. Yeah. The Bible makes it clear that intermarriage is a betrayal, not of oneself, but rather of one's God. Only men in the Bible are permitted to marry outside their ethnicity. Somebody is quoting Deuteronomy 7, chapter 7, verses 1 to 6. Tell the Israelites to destroy all the inhabitants of the Canaan land and not to intermarry with them, because they will turn your sons away from following me, that they may serve other gods. That is, we're looking at identity arguments. We've looked at that. You're going to bring forth children that are not going to be like you. 100%. Second is religious arguments. It's not permissible. There's an exception. Men are allowed to marry outside, but there are conditions attached to that. Those men must turn those children that they're going to bring forth into thinking like they. Women are not permitted marry outside. Now, the third and final argument, collective argument. And let me expand this for you to see this clearly. The collective argument is the one that I consider to be the most important. Identity argument, religious argument, sometimes it could tend to be discriminatory. Yeah. But collective argument is very reasonable. Now, let us look at that. The collective argument is very simple. The choice of a particular mate who happens to be non-Yoruba might well be good for the individual, but is your individual act really good for the collective? So that's what collective argument is talking about, folks. And this is the argument I want you to base your thought on. The choice of your partner who happens to be a non-Yoruba might well be good for you. This person might be the person taking care of you, loving you, caring for you. He or she doesn't cheat on you, is there for you when you are happy, when you are unhappy. Everything is good. It's very good. These are fundamental things you consider when you are getting married to somebody. This individual might well be good for you, but is your individual act really good for the collective, for the good of the Yoruba nation? As a Yoruba citizen, you know that the Igbo nation have deep-seated hatred for the Yoruba nation. Why going there to go and marry? It is not good for the collective good of the Yoruba nation. The person you want to get married to, who happens to be an Igbo, might be good for you as an individual, but is such a person good for the collective good of the Yoruba nation? No, it was the same Igbo. Awolowo was the first prime minister of Yorubaland. He was put in prison by Igbo and Fulani. His son, his first son, was killed by the Igbo because he was representing his father when his father was charged for treason by Igbo and Fulani. This same Igbo and Fulani, they caused the annulment of Abiola's election. Abiola won the presidential election in 1993. He ought to have been our president, but the Igbo went to court to have that election annulled, and Hausa Fulani annulled that election. Not only that, they arrested Abiola, killed his wife, and later assassinated Abiola himself. So it is not good for the collective good of the Yoruba nation for any Yoruba to go and be marrying Igbo or Fulani. You all complaints. Now Fulani power, want to gbanu oko wa, want to ko bonde o, want to shegba o, want to shawo, want to pa gbogbo wa tan. Why should you go and marry from those people? Àwọn tó fẹ́ pa yín, àwọn tó fẹ́ ba yín jẹ́. So the collective argument is real. O lè lọ fẹ́ni tó hate bàbá ẹ̀. O lè lọ fẹ́ni tó dislike ìyá ẹ̀. Orí ẹ̀ burú nìyẹn. Why tó jẹ́ pé every time Igbo dìbò fún Yorùbá rí, but Igbo máa lọ ń dìbò fún Fulani, yet àwọn Fulani ò kí ń fẹ́ Igbo. Torí kí ló dé tí Fulani ò kí ń fẹ́ Igbo? Ṣé ìwọ ti rí Fulani tó fẹ́ Igbo rí? Nítorí pé Igbo ló pa leader wọn. Igbo pa Tafawa Balewa, the first prime minister of Nigeria. Wọ́n pa Ahmadu Bello, the first premier of the Hausa Fulani land. Torí ẹ̀ ló ṣe lè rí àwọn ọmọ Fulani tó ń fẹ́ Igbo But Igbo ló ti Awólọ́wọ̀ mọ́lé, the first premier of Yorubaland. Igbo ló pa Akíntọ́lá, the second premier of Yorubaland. Àwọn Yoruba men and women kan yìí fẹ́ Igbo. So your act or your action is not good for the collective. That is the collective argument. The choice of a particular mate who happens to be non-Yoruba might well be good for the individual, but is your individual heart really good for the collective? Yoruba fẹ́ gba ìsan lára Igbo àti Fulani and dúró di agbára presidency. Wọ́n fi military àti police fi pa àwọn leaders wa. Wọ́n fi ń pa wọ́n láti 1960. Yorùbá máa gbẹ̀san padà lára Igbo àti Fulani. Tó bá fẹ́ wọn lọ́mọ, ọmọ ẹ̀ á fara gbá. Ṣé rí bẹ́ẹ̀? Bí wọ́n ṣe ń ṣe research ò le. Simple observation ni. So tẹ́ ẹ̀ bá gba identity argument, tẹ́ ẹ̀ bá accept religious argument, which in today's modern world, those two arguments are flawed because they are discriminatory. But collective argument, èèyàn tó bá jẹ́ èèyàn bí èèyàn citizen ìlú, wọ́n máa ń wo nǹkan tí àwọn máa ń ṣe tí ò ní pa ìlú wọn lára. Tó bá lọ ń fẹ́ ọmọ Igbo, tó lọ ń fẹ́ ọmọ Hausa Fulani, ó máa palẹ̀ Yorùbá lára. Ṣé o rí Yorùbá nationalism tó ń grow yìí? Ṣé o rí tí nationalism bá ti bẹ̀rẹ̀, kì í stop wo without ẹ̀jẹ̀ o. Kò kì í stop without ẹ̀jẹ̀. Tí wọn ò bá fún Tinubu ticket for instance, àwọn nǹkan táwọn APC Yorùbá fẹ́ ṣe àwọn ló ní ìjà yẹn ṣáà anyway. Tó bá dálẹ̀, gbogbo Yorùbá support wọn. Ìjà á ṣẹlẹ̀, ìtàjẹ̀sílẹ̀ á ṣẹlẹ̀. Ìwọ tó fẹ́ Igbo, ìwọ tó fẹ́ Hausa Fulani, tẹ́jà bá dé wọ́n á pa ọkọ ẹ̀, wọ́n á pa ìyàwó ẹ̀. Wọ́n á pa ọkọ ẹ̀, wọ́n á pa ìyàwó ẹ̀. Wo Queen of England, Second World War, ẹ ti gbàgbé, Queen England ni. Ọkọ ẹ̀ jẹ́ German, ó ní ẹ̀jẹ̀ Germany lára, ó ní German blood. Àwọn German sọ pé àwọn fẹ́ gba England. Ìyàwó ẹ̀ declare ogun against Germany. A lot of ìran ọkọ ẹ̀ ló kú sógun. Ó wá sọ pé ó fẹ́ Igbo, ó fẹ́ Hausa Fulani, ológun ò ní kó wọn lọ, ó ń tanra ẹ̀. So collective argument ló jẹ́ kẹ́ wò ń bà mí o. Ṣé yẹn? So that's enough. Sefini àti parí ẹ̀ nìyẹn. So màá kàn take time láti kàn ka comment àwọn èèyàn. It's very important. Ẹ wo kéèsì David Adeleke tẹ́ ń pè ní Davido. 75% bloodline ẹ̀ Igbo. Kò lè ever support him. Ó máa bá Yorùbá jẹ́ in private. Tó bá wà nínú ilé ẹ̀, nínú gang àwọn Igbo. Wọ́n máa plan evil fún Yorùbá. Ọmọ Akérédolú àti Akérédolú fúnra rẹ̀, wọ́n nífẹ̀ẹ́ Yorùbá bọ́n ṣe wà yìí. Ṣé bá play video wọn fún yín? Wọ́n nífẹ̀ẹ́ Yorùbá bọ́n ṣe wà yìí. Bloodline ó wà important. Yorùbá ẹ ti advance dé level pé ẹni tó bá fẹ́ jẹ councillor nílùú yín nílẹ̀ Yorùbá, ẹ gbọ́dọ̀ wá díẹ̀. Mo ń sọ fún àwọn colleague mi pé ẹnìkan sọ pé ṣé ẹnìkan lè bú mi bí mo ṣe wà. Ibi àwọn èèyàn yọ̀ des gan, wọn lè ṣe research nípa mi. Nǹkan tí wọ́n ti sọ no man twist. We are going into politics. Wọ́n gbọ́dọ̀ mọ̀ wá. Wọ́n gbọ́dọ̀ ṣe research nípa anybody tó bá jáde sọ pé òun fẹ́ ṣe politics. So that kẹ́ má lọ dìbò fẹ́ni tó máa ba ayé yín jẹ́ nílẹ̀ Yorùbá. Kẹ́ má lọ dìbò fún àwọn Igbo tí wọ́n ń lórúkọ Yorùbá. David Adeleke ẹ má máa sọ pé Yorùbá ni mọ́. Ẹ categorize ẹ as Igbo because blood tó wà ní ara ẹ̀ 75% Igbo ni, only 25% ní Yorùbá. Ẹ gbàgbé sọ́nà ẹ̀. Nǹkan tẹ́ fi ń fi ọmọ àlè jọba nìyẹn. Ẹ fọmọ àlè jọba. A máa lọ ṣaṣẹ́wó káàkiri, a máa lọ kóbìnrin, a fẹ́ wèrè, a fẹ́ Hausa, a fẹ́ Fulani, a fẹ́ gbogbo ẹ mọ̀ pé tí fọmọ àlè jọba. Ẹni tí ò ní Yorùbá blood. Ọmọ David Adeleke ń sìn, ọmọ Davido 12.5% blood ni. Grandson nu Governor Akeredolu 12.5% blood náà ló náà. Lọ́jọ́ iwájú àwọn yẹn ló máa sọ pé bàbá àwọn ti jẹ governor, grandfather àwọn ti jẹ governor. Wọ́n á máa rule àwọn ọmọ yín. Ẹ rí páyé Yorùbá ti bàjẹ́. Ẹ̀yin nìkan lẹ mọ importance of bloodline. Ẹ máa lọ wo àwọn films. Ẹ máa lọ wo àwọn films. Wọ́n fi bloodline ṣeré. Mo gbà tí wọ́n ti bí 2014 làwọn Igbo tí àdá ti fẹ́ pa mí. Ṣé mo stop láti máa condemn Igbo ni? No, nítorí pé ẹ̀jẹ̀ yẹn ń rú nínú mi. Ẹ̀jẹ̀ full blooded yẹn kò gba cheating mọ́. Ló ṣe ń rú jáde. Tó bá yẹ pé mi ò kì í ṣe full blooded, a máa ti stop tipẹ́. Bloodline was very, very important. I'm just going to take some of your comments. Yeah, you are right. Gbogbo àwọn tí Igbo pa, Mr. Olatunji, you are right. Gbogbo àwọn tí Igbo àti Fulani máa ń pa. Ẹni ìmọ̀ ẹyọ kan tí ò kì í ṣe full blooded. Wọ́n pa ọmọ Awólọ́wọ̀ full blooded ni. Wọ́n pa Akíntọ́lá full blooded ni. Wọ́n pa Kudirat Abíọ́lá full blooded ni. Wọ́n pa Abíọ́lá full blooded ni. Wọ́n ti Awólọ́wọ̀ mọ́lé full blooded ni. Òun ni wọ́n tún sọ yìí. Brigadier Adémúlẹ̀kùn wọ́n pa full blooded ni. Ṣẹ́yìn ti rí half Yorùbá tó ń jà fúnra Yorùbá rí. Ẹni ẹ̀mẹ́ ẹjẹ́ akún níyì ṣe ti rí wọn rí kò sí. Bọ̀dé George kì í ṣe Yorùbá, ojoojúmọ́ ló máa ń condemn Tinubu ò dá, Tinubu ò dá, ó dẹ̀ máa lọ gbowó lọ́wọ́ Tinubu lẹ́yìn. A máa sọ̀rọ̀ because kì í ṣe Yorùbá. Ẹ̀jẹ̀ ló ń rò wọ́n, ẹ̀jẹ̀ wọn ló ń tì wọ́n. Tẹ́ bá fẹ́ mọ half Yorùbá, abẹ́ni tí ò kì í ṣe Yorùbá. Tẹ́ bá sọ pé half Yorùbá, pé wọ́n ní 50% Yorùbá ni o. Àwọn kan wà bíi David Adeleke, only 25% náà ni. Àwọn èèyàn ń ṣe Yorùbá rárá. Sọ̀nù Akérédolú kì í ṣe Yorùbá. 25% Yorùbá blood ló ní. Kò lè ever ṣàǹfààní fún Yorùbá. Ẹ má tanra yín, ẹ̀jẹ̀ máa ń wà very important. No. That is what Ààrẹ said. Imagine Aláàfin Ikechukwu Adeyemi in future ruling as Oba Oyo. What a shame. And let me see what you say. President, you're very right. When Tinubu, a full-blooded Yoruba, was laying a solid foundation for Lagos State people, Gbenga Daniel, a half-blooded Yoruba, was looting and destroying Ogun State. Can you compare Lagos State and Ogun State development as of today? That's very good reason that you've raised. Gbenga Daniel, ọdún mẹ́jọ ló fi rúùlù Ogun State. Ọdún mẹ́jọ kí ló ṣe? Nígbà tó jẹ́ pé half-blood ni. Kò lè ṣe nǹkan kan. Tinubu full-blooded. Ẹ wo bó ṣe gba gbogbo ilẹ̀ Yorùbá padà. Táwọn PDP ti rí. Torí ṣe rí táwọn PDP yẹn bá ṣe meeting nínú ilé, gbogbo wọn yẹn half-blood ni. Wọ́n ṣe fẹ́ bà ti Tinubu jẹ́ torí pé Tinubu jẹ́ full-blood ni o. Gbogbo hatred tán ní fún Tinubu, it is because he has a full blood. Ọgbọ́n mi ń ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ nìyẹn o. Yeah. Thank you, Kola. For they would turn away their son from following me, that they may serve other gods. So with the anger of the Lord be kindled against you and destroy thee suddenly. Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Are, for defining an illiterate society. Alhaji Aremu Oshuolali Alakufo. An illiterate society is a society that fails to uphold our cultural, moral, and traditional values. In Koto Shijekwe Yoruba is an illiterate society here. Gbogbo everything. Now, folks, ṣé mọ̀ pé àwọn Igbo lọ́ba, warrant officer ni wọ́n. Kíni tó ń dé yẹn, kíni red cap tó ń dé yẹn, Morocco ní English ti lọ gbé wá fún wọn. Igbo ní ìrùkẹ̀rẹ̀ láyé wọn rí wọn dẹ̀ ń lò lẹ̀kẹ̀. Gbogbo wọn tó bá ti ń ṣe party, ṣe wedding, ṣe movie, gbogbo wọn ló ń lo ìrùkẹ̀rẹ̀ tó ń lo iyùn wọ́n ti appropriate Yoruba culture àwọn tí ò lọ́ba nìyẹn o. Yeah, you're right. Grandson, half Yoruba can never become the Owele of Onitsha in Igbo land or the 𝐏𝐫𝐞𝐬𝐢𝐝 of Inewi. That is the truth. Now let's look at this, what you say. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Their daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto their son. I mean, to condemn, God to condemn. Ọkùnrin náà. Yeah, òótọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ bí ìsọkúsọ ló ṣe máa rí, thank you. No, Mr. Fẹ́mi Jọlá Ọ̀ṣọ́, àwa Yorùbá ti gba ìgbàkúgbà. No, bó ṣe máa ń rí lélẹ̀, Yorùbá ò roof rí ní Nàìjíríà. Torí ẹ̀ ló ṣe dàbí ẹni pé wọ́n ti suppress wa completely, wọ́n ti subjugate wa. Ó máa ya everybody lẹ́nu tí Tinubu bá gba presidency. Á dàbí ni pé Nàìjíríà yẹn wọ́n lọ gbé wá láti ìlú mi. One thing tí à ń ṣe research lórí ẹ̀, mo kàn ti abandon ẹ̀ for a while ni pé a ti ń ronú bá ṣe fẹ́ decentralize strike and protest. Protest ti pọ̀ jù ní Nàìjíríà. Even though àwa gan máa lo protest o, but protest yẹn ó máa ń happen pé àwọn Igbo ló máa instigate ẹ̀. Wọn ò dẹ̀ nìkan ṣe kan ni. Tí wọ́n bá fẹ́ ṣe protest l'Abuja, àwọn ọmọ Igbo ló máa kún bẹ̀. Tí wọ́n bá fẹ́ ṣe protest l'Èkó, àwọn ọmọ Igbo. So we are looking at the best practice abroad. Bọ́n ṣe lè ṣe, mo dẹ̀ ń ka ìwé Margaret Thatcher bó ṣe dì pẹ̀lú àwọn union nílùú yìí. A fẹ́ lo the same policy idea ká fi dì pẹ̀lú àwọn Igbo tó máa ń ṣe protest nílẹ̀ Yorùbá. Wọ́n á lọ máa ṣe protest nílùú ìyá wọn àti bàbá wọn. Yeah, you are very correct, Mr. Razak. The kind of support given to Libra in Yorubaland, if given the support to conservative Yorubaland will have been great more than it is now. Thank you, Mr. President, for this. Thank you, too. Now, another thing, ni pé ilẹ̀ Yorùbá agbàgbàkúgbà gan ṣá. Now, ilẹ̀ Yorùbá, we just observe this. Bóyá torí pé mi ò gbé nílẹ̀ Yorùbá for a while ni. Àwọn èèyàn máa wá àti ilẹ̀ Haúsá, wọ́n á wá láti ilẹ̀ Igbo sínú Yorubaland. Àwa ò lọ sílùú, wọ́n á dẹ̀ máa sọ pidgin. Òyìnbó ò ṣe a lot of things ní Yorùbá fi jẹ́ illiterate. Àwọn èèyàn àtọ̀húnrìn wá, wọ́n wá sílùú yín, wọ́n wá to create another language. Gbogbo yín wá ń sọ pidgin nílẹ̀ Yorùbá. Una wetin dey now? I no dey come o. Na tomorrow I go come o. I don tire. You see, the transport, it take away before I get there. Na wow. I don't get that thing o. I no dey go there. Nílẹ̀ Yorùbá, ẹ ti yá wèrè. Nílùú òyìnbó tá wà wáyé, tó o bá gbọ́ English, wọ́n ní fún ẹ̀wìn, wọ́n ní kó lọ ṣe exam. Wọ́n ní kó lọ sí English class. Bọ́n ṣe ń ṣe ní Spain náà nìyẹn, bọ́n ṣe ń ṣe ní France, bọ́n ṣe ń ṣe ní Germany. Púpọ̀ ní gbogbo Yorùbá ṣe yá wèrè. Ẹ mọ̀wé, Yorubaland is an illiterate society. Àwọn Igbo á wá, àwọn ọmọ South á wá sílẹ̀ Yorùbá, àwọn Haúsá Fúlàní á wá. Instead of kan sọ èdè yín, èdè náà máa fi ń colonize. Èdè náà máa fi ń colonize àwọn èèyàn. Idiot nílẹ̀ Yorùbá, ẹ wá ń pa Yorùbá fún pidgin. Ìlú wọn kọ́, wọ́n tún wá create another language. Ẹ wá ń sọ pidgin. Ó dẹ̀ hate BBC News Yorùbá yìí. Wọ́n máa fọ́ ibiṣẹ́ wọn, wọ́n máa fọ́ sọ́nà sí ìjọ kan. Àwọn tó ń ṣiṣẹ́ fún English. Tẹ́lẹ̀ ọmọ máa sọ pidgin. Ọmọ I dey come. I go see you tomorrow now. So ẹ lè sọ Yorùbá nílẹ̀ Yorùbá. Ẹ dẹ̀ sọ pé ẹ mọ̀wé. Ẹlẹ́yin lẹ mọ̀wé jù ní gbogbo Africa. Èdè yín, àwọn foreigners tó ń wá sílùú yín, wọ́n tún create another language fún yín. Torí ẹ̀ náà ṣe máa ń fi yín rẹ́rìn-ín. So why ẹ̀fún máa ń ba federal government lẹ́rù? Because àwọn nǹkan tá à ń sọ, àwọn fundamental truths ni. tó bá ṣí ọpọlọ àwọn leaders wa sílẹ̀ báyìí àwọn èèyàn àwọn half Yorùbá ò mà láyà láti máa pera wọn ní half Yorùbá mọ́ ẹ̀rù máa ń bà wọ́n sìn ni pé kí wọ́n má lọ fọ́ àwọn lórí níta gbangba tẹ́lẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀ wọ́n ní boldness ẹni bá ṣe yẹ̀yẹ́ wọn ẹni lédi adé tó ń ọ̀nàjọ́ bí yẹn tó ṣe máa ń sọ̀rọ̀ condemn Yorùbá interest àṣọ ló ṣù ọmọ Ìgbò ni ẹ̀rí kan báyìí Abísóyè Òṣòdì olùṣí ọmọ Nupe Ìyábọ̀ Òjó ọmọ Ìgbò gbogbo wọn kàn appropriate Yorùbá ní lọ gbogbo yín sọ pidgin illiteracy is a disease lágbájá ti sọ illiteracy is a disease Yorùbá is an illiterate society àwọn èèyàn wá sílùú yín àwọn Ìgbò Fúlàní àwọn ìjọ gbogbo wọn wá ń gbé ilẹ̀ Yorùbá torí pé ilẹ̀ Yorùbá wà sustainable ẹ tún wá ń sọ pidgin pẹ̀lú wọn ẹ dẹ̀ sọ pé ẹ mọ̀wé ẹ dẹ̀ sọ pé ẹ ní làákàyè bẹ́ẹ̀ náà lẹ́ ń dé fìlà Haúsá wọ́n ní fìlà religion ni ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ti ṣòdì pé Fúlàní dé fìlà yín Fúlàní minority Fúlàní illiterate tí kò superior tó yín ẹ̀ ń dé fìlà wọn Yorubaland is an illiterate society torí ẹ̀ ní English ṣe máa ń rẹ́rìn mo rántí ìgbà tọ́lọ́pàá arrest mi many years wọ́n sọ pé Yorùbá wọ́n ní Yorùbá people are vocally ignorant pé ẹ máa ń sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ wà láòsì but ẹ ignorant páwọn ò rí Yorùbá tó bòdì bí èmi rí mo sọ pé tó máa gbé ìbọn sí orí mi ì ní sọ àwọn boys tó ń ṣe chemical weapon covenant mo bá àwọn guys yẹn ní nìyẹn Yorùbá tó máa ṣe kí ní sẹ́yìn máa bẹ̀rù ẹ̀ ń sọ pidgin English nílẹ̀ Yorùbá ẹgọ ẹfẹnuwọra tó bá lọ sílẹ̀ Ìgbò wọ́n á fọ̀ṣẹ́ láti sọ èdè wọn ṣé pidgin náà ń sọ nílẹ̀ Haúsá pidgin náà ń sọ ẹ̀yin tẹ́ gọ̀ tẹ́ mọ̀wé tẹ́ dòbó tẹ́ mọ̀wé ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń fi the pass tẹ́ ń fi handout pass ní school tẹ́ bá ti gbé ìwé yín sílẹ̀ ordinary newspaper ẹ̀ kí ń kà mọ́ magazine ẹ̀ kí ń kà mọ́ news gan ẹ̀ kí ń gbọ́ church ní láàárọ̀ lọ́sàn-án lálẹ́ ní gbogbo ọ̀sẹ̀ torí ẹ̀ ní Yorùbá ṣe turn to an illiterate society èèyàn wá ń gbèlú yín wọ́n sọ pidgin wọn lè sọ èdè Yorùbá yín èyí ò mọ̀ pé èdè náà máa fi ń suppress àwọn èèyàn ni èdè náà máa fi ń kóyàn lẹ́rú orí kí ní ta sọ nípa Afrikaner àti Fúlàní ni English tó fẹ́ fi agbára lẹ̀ fún àwọn Afrikaner South Africa ó ní pé àwọn gbọ́dọ̀ control South Africa culturally pé wọ́n gbọ́dọ̀ sọ èdè àwọn ẹ̀yin ọ̀dẹ̀ ẹ wá ń sọ pidgin nílẹ̀ Yorùbá ẹ̀yin tó rí ń ti já wèrè stupid people. Yeah, that is it. You must speak Hausa language in Hausa land. It is a must, including their schools. Tis. Yorùbá ń fumble. Wọ́n fumble. Báwọn ọmọ ìlú sọ Yorùbá ń tẹ̀kí ọ̀dẹ̀ ẹ gọ́gán. You are just an illiterate society. Ẹ rò bẹ́ẹ̀ ẹgbọ́n ẹ smart. Tẹ́yìn bá smart ẹ bá kí ń ṣe illiterate. Fúlàní ló ń control ọlọ́pàá yín. Fúlàní ló ń control military yín. Ṣé ẹ kí ń ṣe illiterate bẹ́ẹ̀? Ṣé ilẹ̀ ń control ọlọ́pàá nílẹ̀ Haúsá? Ṣé Yorùbá ló ń control military bases nílẹ̀ Haúsá? Ẹni tẹ́ jẹ́ illiterate tẹ́ mọ̀ òwe. Tẹ́ mọ̀ ọkàn gbogbo àwọn tó ń pera wọn ní doctor even SAN. Ó ní group kan báyìí tó ń fi mí sí tẹ́ pé àwọn SAN ló wà ń bẹ̀. Wọ́n mọ̀ dò. Àwọn yẹn wọ́n dẹ̀ ń dájọ́ ní court. Wọ́n ti send a lot of people to prison. A lot of things ní wọn mọ̀. Ọ̀dẹ̀ kan àwòrán kan wà lọ. Ṣe báwọn gómìnà tí Tinubu groom yẹn ló máa ń sọ ẹ rántí ìgbà kan tí ambodi sọ kan máa sọ Yorùbá kan máa pass Yorùbá kan tó lè wọ yunifásitì lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ táwọn ọmọ Ìgbò lọ ń protest ẹ mọ̀ yìí ó dìgbà tẹ́ bá gbàgbára presidency yẹn Yorùbá tó conservative Yorùbá wọ́n lo agbára presidency ó máa pit imagination yín pé ṣágbára presidency ló tó yìí a máa lò ó tọ́lọ́n bá ti gbà fún wa tí Yankee bá ti support Tinubu fìyókù lẹ̀ òṣòfò wọ́n á wá sí lu òyìnbó Yorùbá ni mo rí Yorùbá ìsàn ni because mo rí máa nǹkan tó ń fẹ́ tó máa rìn jet Igbo Yoruba is not an illiterate society. Yoruba, nílẹ̀ Yorùbá, kò bá Fúlàní àti Igbo jà. Fúlàní ti gba gbogbo political economy yín lọ́wọ́ yín. Fúlàní ló ń control waterways yín. Fúlàní ló ń control airport yín. Fúlàní ló ń control crude oil yín. Fúlàní ló ń control immigration, control police, control. Yorùbá ò bá Fúlàní jà o. Igbo ló ń control gbogbo ọjà yín pátápátá. Igbo ń ṣiṣẹ́ lọ́lọ́pàá yín, Igbo ń ṣiṣẹ́ military yín, wọ́n dẹ̀ ń pa àwọn ọmọ yín. Yorùbá ò bá wọn jà. Idiot tí a wá sí London. English ò wá ní fún ní ìwé. A máa sọ pé English wà racist. Tó bá tún gbàwé tán, àwọn English á ní kó lọ máa fọ gọ́tà, kó lọ máa ṣe security guard, kó lọ máa kó gbó ibi tán ti ń grow, baby kó máa lọ ṣiṣẹ́ nínú oko, kó máa lọ bá wọn gbójú títì wọn. A ní English wà racist. Ọdẹ kò lè kojú Fúlàní tó gba gbogbo iṣẹ́ nílẹ̀ Yorùbá. Kò lè kojú Igbo tó ti gba gbogbo ọjà ẹ̀. Igbo ti gbogbo ibi tó dáa jù nílẹ̀ Lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ làwọn Igbo ń gbé. Expensive places. Tó bá ti dé England, tó bá ráwọn English tó ń gbé expensive places, á ní wọ́n wà racist. Yorùbá is an illiterate society. Ẹrú ni ẹrú. Àwa conservative nìkan la máa change the course of it nílẹ̀ Yorùbá yẹn. Àwọn ọ̀dẹ̀ wọ́n máa sọ pidgin. Wọ́n máa sọ pidgin. Òyìnbó pọ́n èrò èlé. Tó bá lọ sí Germany, èdè ìlú wọn náà sọ. Tó bá lọ sí Spain, èdè ìlú wọn náà sọ. Tó bá lọ sí France, èdè ìlú wọn náà sọ. Tó bá lọ sí Russia, èdè ìlú wọn náà sọ. Tó bá lọ sí China, èdè ìlú wọn náà sọ. Tó bá lọ sí Japan, èdè ìlú wọn náà sọ. Gbogbo wọn èdè ìlú wọn náà sọ. Olùsí nílẹ̀ Yorùbá ẹ tún ń sọ pidgin. Àwọn tó ń wá sílùú yín jẹ́ kẹ́ fi èdè yín Yorùbá kẹ́ fi kó wọn lẹ́rú, kẹ́ fi colonize wọn. Tí gbogbo wọn gbọ́dọ̀ sọ, wọ́n á tún ṣe exam lórí ẹ̀. Tí wọ́n bá pass, wọn tún ní dúró sílẹ̀ Yorùbá. Ẹ wá ń sọ pidgin. I no dey go there o, boy, I don tire. Kí n gbé ọmọ mi wá sẹ́kọ̀ọ́ tó ti sòyìnbó ní England, kó tó máa ju pidgin. So kí ló fẹ́ káwọn ọmọ yẹn máa sọ? Ó rò bórí àwọn ọmọ yẹn ò pé ni. Wọ́n máa wà confused. A rò bóyá pé èdè ìlú wa nìyẹn. Ẹ gọ̀ Yorùbá, ẹ gọ̀ báyìí. Ẹ tún fẹnu họra. Ẹ̀yin illiterate òṣì. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ mọ yìí. Àwọn generation yín wọ́n codify language. Ẹ wá fẹ́ generation tí yín fẹ́ sọnù. Ẹ̀yin gbà fi body. I work in USA at Onitsha for years. Igbo will never speak English in the community except at work. They always speak their language, not even pidgin language. It's yote. So pidgin, so BBC pidgin. I'm interviewing you and so shady. Folks, our time is fast spent. Right. Like I can only read some of you that are writing. Kẹ́tó ja ogun, kẹ́tó get to the Odùduwà Republic, ẹ máa kọ́kọ́ mọ ibi tí problem ti bẹ̀rẹ̀. Ìyẹn ni wá ẹ̀fún ṣe, a dẹ̀ ti ṣe for a long time. A ti sọ pé nǹkan mẹ́ta lè máa ṣe. Tẹ́ ẹ bá lọ bá Amẹ́ríkà, kó ràn yín lọ́wọ́. Amẹ́ríkà bá sọ pé ẹ lọ, tẹ́ bá sọ pé ẹ fẹ́ lọ, tí yín bàjẹ́ nìyẹn. Ẹ wo nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ pẹ̀lú Taliban. Taliban kọ àwọn ethnic group tó pọ̀ jù ní Afghanistan. Mo ń ṣe research yẹn lọ́wọ́. Taliban kan ló ń pè wọ́n, but àwọn gangan náà tún describe as Taliban, but that is not their name. Àwọn ló pọ̀ jù. Russia bá wọn jà fún 11 years. Àwọn people yẹn ń kú. Wọ́n bí sí, wọ́n rẹ̀ sí. Wọ́n bá Russia jà fún 11 years. But tó sún Russia sá lọ. Ìlú wọn ni ibi tí wọ́n bí ìyálàjà bàbá ńlá bàbá wọn sí nìyẹn. Wọ́n mọ gbogbo terrain yẹn. Wọ́n pa wọ́n títí Russia sá lọ. Àwọn people yẹn ò give up ilẹ̀ wọn. Ilẹ̀ is very important. America today, wọ́n lọ fi minority jẹ president ní Afghanistan, àwọn America. Àwọn Taliban yẹn ò gbà. 10 years náà fi jagun pẹ̀lú America. 10 years wọ́n pa wọ́n títí Taliban ò gbà. Ó gbalẹ̀ wọn padà. Ó ti gba Kandahar ní àná sìn ìgbà. Wọ́n á ń bẹ̀ wọ́n pé kán wá ṣe àpá. Wọ́n gbà wọ́n wá ṣe ẹ̀rìn. Àwọn tí ó ti ń kú, wọ́n bá Russia jà fún 11 years. Wọ́n kú títí. Àwọn ọmọ wọn ò bẹ̀rù ikú mọ́. Àwọn eléyìí náà tún gbé jáde, wọ́n tún bá wọn jà títí. Kílé tí Yorùbá lè ṣe jà bẹ́ẹ̀. Half Yorùbá ni. Tẹ́ bá wà nínú group, or maybe tẹ́ bá randomly select 10 Yorùbá, ẹ bá sọ pé nígbà ni pé kí ló dé Yorùbá ò jẹ president látijọ́ yìí, Yorùbá ò jẹ president látijọ́ yìí náà, kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ sí Fúlàní nìkan ni ìgbà wo, ibẹ̀rẹ̀ tó máa rí bí àwọn mẹ́ta orúkọ Yorùbá náà ń jẹ́ o, bọ̀tọ̀ ọmọ Ìgbò ni wọ́n àbọ̀mọ Fúlàní, wọ́n ní Ọbásanjọ́ ti jẹ president rí, bọ̀tọ̀ Ọbásanjọ́ ò kì í ṣe Yorùbá o, wọ́n dẹ̀ mọ̀ definitely Ọbásanjọ́ ò kì í ṣe Yorùbá o, Ìgbò ni bàbá ẹ̀ o, wọ́n máa sọ fún yín pé ìgbà tó bá jọ president ńkọ́ kí ló ṣe fúnra Yorùbá tí Tinubu bá débẹ̀ kò ní ṣe, wọn kì í ṣe Yorùbá. Ọlọ́run gbọ́, ìyà tá máa fa àwọn á fi Yorùbá yẹn jẹ, ìyà tá máa fi yín jẹ tí Tinubu bá get power yẹn, ẹ kàn dínú yọ, ẹ ní ríṣẹ́ ṣe lẹ̀ Yorùbá wá rí, a dẹ̀ máa lọ fi yín jẹ gómìnà ní ilẹ̀ Ìgbò ni, nǹkan tá máa ṣe nìyẹn. Haúsá náà a máa lọ fi Haúsá àti Fúlàní àwọn àjẹ para wọn jà, kò sí secret ṣé yẹ yín ká sọ gbogbo eléyìí fún ara wọn. Tá a bá gba power, Haúsá ló máa jẹ Sultan of Sokoto, Haúsá ló máa jẹ àwọn emir, so àwọn Haúsá àti Fúlàní wọn máa kojú ara wọn, á para wọn dáadáa, kò sí nǹkan tó kàn wá. Gàmbàrí pa Fúlàní kò lẹ́jọ́ nú, ṣọlẹ yín Ìgbò ṣebí àwọn Yorùbá half Yorùbá wọn ti gba gbogbo political space wa àbí, nílùú yín Ìgbò yẹn a máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí wá àwọn half Yorùbá, a máa gbé wọn jáde, àwọn máa lọ máa fi ṣe ajẹ́lẹ̀ fún ìlú yín yẹn, àwọn ló máa jẹ gómìnà, ló máa jẹ sínétọ̀, tó bá bí yín re ẹ̀yin ẹ má fi wọn jẹ gómìnà, á finish yín ni. Olórí burúkú ẹ gba gbogbo ilẹ̀ Yorùbá mọ́ wa lọ́wọ́, ẹ kó àwọn olóṣì olùwèrè half Yorùbá, ẹ kó gbogbo wọn jáde, wọ́n wá ń control political lives wa, ojoojúmọ́ ẹ máa sọ pé Yorùbá ń gbàbọ̀dé fúnra wọn, àṣà àwọn half Yorùbá ni, àṣà àwọn tí ò ń ṣe Yorùbá ni náà ń gbàbọ̀dé fún wa, wọ́n ń pa wá lọ́tùn lósìn, wọ́n gbàbọ̀dé f'Awólọ́wọ̀, gbàbọ̀dé f'Abíọ́lá, wọ́n tún bẹ̀rẹ̀ tó lórí Tinubu. Àtíkù lọ jókòó sí Dubai fún ọdún méjì, Àtíkù wèrè táwọn olùsí Libra dìbò fún, ọdún méjì ló fi jókòó sí Dubai, ó parí election ní 2019, ó padà dé 2021, ó lọ jókòó sí Dubai ni o, kò sẹ́ni tó sọ̀rọ̀ lórí ẹ̀, tí wọ́n bá rí Tinubu fọ́jọ́ mẹ́ta àbọ́jọ́ kan wọ́n máa pariwo kiri, wọ́n ló ti kú ni, wọ́n ló ti ṣe gbá ni, wọ́n lò sí gbogbo tí máa bàjẹ́ lẹ̀ Yorùbá. So we can't talk so much. Ẹ̀gbọ́n Clement, longest time, sir. Okay. Yeah, you're right, Mr. Olatunji. Russia finds it difficult to defeat Afghanistan until President Najibullah of Afghanistan was killed. Yeah, they find it very difficult. Yeah, thank you very much, 𝐏𝐫𝐞𝐬𝐢𝐝 Makanju. That is the Pashtun, is the so-called Taliban. Taliban. The name, their real name is Pashtun. Yeah, but I'm going to research one earlier today. You discover I wanted the largest ethnic groups in Afghanistan. One people here from one generation to another, one pa English, one pa English soldiers, one pa American soldiers, one defeat Russia. Russia sakuro ni after 11 years. 10 years, the America ti bá wọn jà. Now imagine, every generation wọn tó ti kú, wọn wá gba agbára yẹn eventually. Because àwọn ló pọ̀ jù, àwọn ló yẹ kó máa rule ní Afghanistan, wọn jẹ́ kán rule, wọn wá gba agbára yẹn, wọn wá ruthless. Àwọn tó ń jà for the past 20 years. For the past 20 years, wọ́n ti ń jà, wọ́n ti pa wọ́n. Àwọn Amẹ́ríkà gan mọ̀ pé kíní, Amẹ́ríkà lè máa ṣe sometimes wọ́n máa ṣe propaganda video fún yín o. Àwọn Taliban yẹn ò yí sí o. Oye yín. Àwọn Taliban yẹn ò yí sí rárá. Wọ́n bá wọn kó. So ibi tó ń pe, thank you so much, Mr. 𝐏𝐫𝐞𝐬𝐢𝐝 Makanju. Orúkọ tó ń jẹ́ nìyẹn, Pashtun. Wọ́n kàn fún wọn ní Taliban. Àwọn ní the largest ethnic group ní Afghanistan. Wọ́n gbà, wọ́n làwọn máa rú. Wọ́n ní pé kí wọ́n á ṣe power sharing. Wọ́n láwọn ò fẹ́ Yorùbá, ẹ̀yin lẹ pọ̀ jù nínú Nàìjíríà. Fúlàní minority ni wọ́n. Ìgbò pọ̀ tó yín. Gbogbo half of Igbo population lẹ Yorùbá náà ń gbé. Ilẹ̀ yín náà ti ń jẹ, náà ti ń mu. Wọ́n dẹ̀ fẹ́ máa bá yín ṣe zoning. A máa sọ̀rọ̀ lórí yẹn in a more detailed way lọ́jọ́ iwájú. Wọ́n dẹ̀ fẹ́ máa bá yín ṣe zoning. Yeah, àwọn ni majority. Okay. I want to play for you. So I'm getting the message that I should play a video for you. Okay. Let me try and play the video for you. You understand? So the much load, I'm going to play it so that you can see it about a pastor. Don't sorrow in support of Tinubu. Yeah. So àwọn ló pọ̀ jù ní so nǹkan tó ń ṣe díẹ̀ wọn gbà but Yorùbá tó bá ti jùbọn sókè báyìí pàpàpàpàpà wọn ń sá. Imagine àwọn Taliban tó bá sọ pé àwọn ń lo oògùn àwọn máa gbé oògùn jáde àwọn máa ṣe pé kíní kan jáde ṣé wọ́n máa win 20 years wọn give up. Wọ́n pa Awólọ́wọ̀ àjà wọ́n pa ọmọ Awólọ́wọ̀ àjà wọ́n ti Awólọ́wọ̀ mọ́lé àṣẹ nǹkan kan gbúrò wọ́n lójú láyà wọ́n pa Akíntọ́lá àkàn fọwọ́ wò ni ìyẹn ló fún wọn boldness wọ́n pa Kudirat wọ́n pa Abíọ́lá àṣẹ nǹkan kan. Ẹ wo Taliban àkísà ni wọ́n máa ń wọ̀ from one wọ́n bá bímọ lénìí bá wọ́n máa initiate ọmọ yẹn sínú ìjà yẹn ni wọ́n dẹ̀ ṣe intermarriages káàkiri wọ́n máa ṣe intermarriages kó break wọn tó bá yẹ pé wọ́n ń ṣe intermarriages ni wọn ò ní jà fẹ́tọ̀ wọn wọ́n ti gbalẹ̀ wọn lọ́wọ́ wọn àwọn èèyàn dẹ̀ jà fún 20 years Yorùbá tẹ̀yìn gan jà fún 16 years ẹ para yín for 16 years ẹ wá lè ṣígun fún Ìgbò ẹ lè ṣígun fún Fúlàní. Ẹ ká kan wo fídíò yìí ká fi kẹ́sẹ̀ ńlẹ̀.
I'm not a politician. To hell, but I'm saying the truth. Kò sẹ́ni tó tún build champions lórílẹ̀-èdè bíi Bọ́lá Ahmed Tinubu. He created champions. He made men. He parted way for people who were nobody to become somebody. He made governors. Ajimobi, Dapo Abiodun. He made them. Aregbesola, Oyetola. He made them. Segun Oni. What's the one in Ekiti now? Fayemi. He made them. Personal ambition wa gbogbo wọn lójú lónìí. Gbogbo ló wà ń dalẹ̀ ọkùnrin tó sọ wọ́n dé. He made senators. He made governors. He made ministers. He made the vice president. Gbogbo ìgbà yẹn rántí wípé bóyá èèyàn burúkú ni o. Rántí wípé he's monopolistic. Rántí wípé he's not a democrat. Bó ṣe ń fà yín láàrin àwọn tó ń ṣe democracy tó ń fi yín síbẹ̀ rántí gbà yẹn pé kì í ṣe democrat. Lónìí ó wá kàn wọ́n ẹ sọ pé kì í ṣe democrat. Ẹ wá ràn yín mọ́ ẹ sọ dèèyàn burúkú ẹ ń gbàdúrà bíi kó kú bíi kó ṣubú bíi pé kó má padà oríṣiríṣi rumor about him so that he will die. I don't have a business with him. I don't know him. I don't care to know him. Torí kò bọ́ mi rí kò dẹ̀ bọ́ ọ̀nà mi rí. But when the truth is to be told, let us say it. He has his shortfalls, gẹ́gẹ́ bí ẹlẹ́ran ara. He had his ambition, gẹ́gẹ́ bí ẹlẹ́ran ara. His ambition blindfolded him not to reason properly in 2015. Because if he has reasoned properly, he will understand where àwọn ará bí wọ́n iṣẹ́ pé yàn bá ṣòwò náà.
You see that? You see that? That's interesting. About the full-blooded Yoruba, our excuses for it. Now, I purposely brought out your comment, 𝐏𝐫𝐞𝐬𝐢𝐝. I love your passion on Yoruba issue. Yeah, thank you. But let's see what you are writing. But please, what about the Igbos like Ben, Akabueze, and Joe Igwe that Tinubu brought into Yoruba politics? Yeah, he didn't bring them into Yoruba politics. Are they contesting any election? No. He just gave them an appointment. It's an exception. It doesn't mean that they have appropriated Yorubaland. Joe Igwe speaks a lot of rubbish. He lies a lot. I know him. I read some of his nonsense that he's been writing. He should go and be talking to his Igbo. He can't convince Yoruba about Tinubu. He should go and talk to the Igbo people. And he should stop lying just to say things in favor of Tinubu. He should speak truth. He didn't bring them. Ṣé 𝐏𝐫𝐞𝐬𝐢𝐝 àti 𝐏𝐵𝐾𝐬𝐲𝐭 ṣé wọ́n lead lórí Yorùbá ni? Ṣé our political leader wa ni wọ́n? Torí pé kàn fún èèyàn ní appointment sísì kọ́bọ̀ èèyàn wá mí nìyẹn. Ṣáwọn ló ń control Yorùbá là? Àwọn full blooded ní Tinubu gbé síbẹ̀. Nǹkan tó ń bí àwọn half Yorùbá nínú nìyẹn. So what is it that you're saying? Can a non-Nigeria full-blooded Yoruba join YYF? Of course. Of course. Even we have half Yoruba, the guy who is in charge of our chemical and biological weapon, he's an Israeli. His father is Israeli, his mother is Yoruba. But the people that we're against is the people inside Nigeria. Igbo, Benin, Ijaw, Hausa Fulani in particular. We're against all these people because they are undermining us. People will tell you. Thank you for remembering that. Meta Yoruba kò ní tòṣì lágbára Olódùmarè. Our generation will break that gist. We will break it. Okay. You said you are from Benin Republic. Yeah. As long as you are Igbo, we have members in Benin Republic who are, I said as long as you are Igbo, as long as you are Yoruba rather. We have a lot of members in Benin Republic. I have a friend who is Yoruba from Benin Republic here in London. I even got him a Yoruba from Nigeria as a wife. Moshe program, or me will live more in a long time. So if you are Yoruba from Benin Republic or Togo, you are welcome to join YYF. No, I'm Fulani Opo to Yoruba. Okay. So, we'll see any. Mr. Isaac, even now some military barracks in the far north are now using Hausa or Fulani language to command a parade ground as a drill. Imagine, they are protecting their cultural values. Yeah. Meanwhile, people are speaking pidgin in Yorubaland. When Fulani use, if you go to their police, you go to their military, in their own space, they use their language. But on their Yoruba, when you first saw Yoruba, English still recognizing. Now let me see what Lacan is writing. When people are determined, there are three things you can't take from them: land, language, and culture. Very, very reasonable statements, sir. Yeah, the Pastons have demonstrated that. Yeah, they've demonstrated that in Afghanistan. You can't take their land. They will fight and kill, even to the last man. They will rule Afghanistan. And America should better. Because the only fear America has is that the moment this Taliban takes over Afghanistan completely, that they will rather relate with Russia. That might be the fear. But these people are willing. They fought with Russia before. They've now fought with the Americans. Now, but the point is that you allowed them to rule Afghanistan. You allowed them to do because they are the majority. And it is in their land, New World, Afghanistan, what? Ilẹ̀ wọn náà ti rówó yẹn tó fi ràn Afghanistan. 1994 ni just one man. What is the track? 1994 ni just one man, young man like us. Ó dìde ó lóun máa defend ìlú òun. 50 people ló bẹ̀rẹ̀. 50. Look at Action Group tá à ń pariwo lénìí. Awólọ́wọ̀ tí gbogbo wa ń pariwo lénìí. Nígbà tó dá party yẹn sílẹ̀, Action Group, ó invite gbogbo èèyàn mẹ́wàá ló yọjú. Go and read it. Ó invite hundreds of people. Èèyàn mẹ́wàá. Ó wá sọ fún àwọn èèyàn pé àwọn èèyàn wá pé kán jẹ́ káwọn máa lọ sílé. One of the people tó wá ní pé no, pa àwọn ò lọ sílé, àwọn dá ẹgbẹ́ yẹn sílẹ̀ lẹ́yìn, ó dẹ̀ ń continue lọ. Action Group la fi ń ṣe example lẹ́yìn. We founded YYF. 3 people. ní university, myself and 2 others. A máa ń ṣe lecture ni a máa ń pe àwọn èèyàn jókòó, àwọn mate wa máa ṣe lecture bá ṣe ń ṣe. Àwọn ọ̀rẹ́ mi ní pé kò ní work, pé ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ti wà backward, pé wọ́n ti conquer wa tán. Mo ní no, and everybody is talking about our life today. It's shared determination. Báwọn Taliban ṣe bẹ̀rẹ̀ nìyẹn, just one man in 1994, 50 people péré ló join ẹ̀. Àwọn yòókù sọ pé look, wọ́n ti gbalẹ̀ àwọn, kò sí nǹkan táwọn lè ṣe sí, pé kán jẹ́ káwọn give up. Ó ní rárá, from 50 gbogbo àwọn Taliban táǹpọ̀ gbogbo wọn ló support ogun yẹn sí, gbogbo wọn lè ń jà. Wọ́n ṣe ń kú làwọn ọmọ kéékèèké ń join, wọn ò gba ìlú wọn padà ń sìn. Ṣé wọn ò gba ìlú wọn padà? Àwa ti jẹ́ kí half Yorùbá kó balẹ̀ Yorùbá jẹ́. Àní gbà ó, àní gbà. Thank you, Mr. Kazeem. We have to be determined and fight with our last blood. Àti ẹ̀ní gbà rárá ni. No, I won't talk about him now. We won't talk about Ooni of Ife now. Because I just saw the lórí committee of half Yoruba and PDP members. No one. Look, I'm watching you closely. Don't watch me closely. You are Libra. You know, you support all the 𝐏𝐫𝐞𝐬𝐢𝐝. You support all these Libra things and then all these Yoruba Libra things. Still work, still make anything. No, don't watch us closely. I know some of you from long. So, yeah, I can lọ sórí kíni wa. Àwọn boys yìí, àwọn ọmọ Igbo yìí wọ́n pọ̀ ń bí. Mi ì rí ti yín rò. Mi ì rí ti yín rò àwọn bàálẹ̀ àwọn Igbo. Mangas, what nonsense question are you? No, I'm not going to call you 𝐏𝐫𝐞𝐬𝐢𝐝. You are Libra. No, I don't go. Multi advanced, don't say beyond what you guys are thinking. I cannot be rolling with Libra. Pull every time. No. We've had. Yeah. Okay. Ozili, Vincent, thank you so much. BOG spy. Lola Olasukanmi, you are BOG spy. Vincent sọ fún wa, you are BOG spy, all of you Libra. Sọ fún BOG, gbogbo nǹkan tí wọ́n bá sọ ló máa ń copy, ló máa ń fẹ́ fi ṣe policy. Libra ni, his uncle Gbadamosi and my father, his uncle was doing Ragolis water and my father, they belonged to the same club and they were best of friends. But Libra ni BOG, wà pẹ̀lú PDP, ó kó àwọn ọmọ Igbo, lórí bí apá àwọn Igbo máa dìbò fún. Igbo lè dìbò fún ẹ, ó lè jẹ gómìnà, ó lè jẹ senator náà, because Libra ni ẹ, Ọlọ́run ló mọ̀ bóyá fi Yorùbá gan ni. Yoruba is the largest ethnic group in Nigeria. There are lots of ethnic groups in the north, from Niger to even Katsina. They have their own local dialect. Hausa language is just like English to them. So communication. Now people should need Libra. More advanced in Logonsin, yo. In Libra, okay, then she PDP, then she Oòduà Nation for now. Tell people will be CIA in Tinubu le ma bimbu, and to the inti daru. How about me lori kini o? Mo determine o. Ya mi ti warn mi pé kí n má ba Libra ṣe pé àwọn máa pa mí. Ẹ̀yin olófò. 𝐏𝐫𝐞𝐬𝐢𝐝 Mola. No, I don't think. I think is a he's 𝐏𝐫𝐞𝐬𝐢𝐝. But yeah, I only demo. BBC Yoruba. BBC achieve that. If you hear BBC, run for your life. Look, Kola, ẹ rí i pé punch ní mess up gan sìn. Wọ́n ti lọ employ àwọn ọmọ Igbo. Wèrè punch newspaper, wọ́n ti di blog post. Wọ́n ti ń misinform general public. Wọ́n ti ń gbé fake news. I was disappointed kí punch ya try láti adjust ara ẹ̀ tó lọ ń fi àwọn ọmọ Igbo kó lọ máa post lórí social media. Wọ́n kàn ń ṣe fake news ni. Àwọn èèyàn ní káyín mọ́ o torí kan tó bí èmi ni bàbá tèmi àtàwọn ìyá mi máa ti ń ka punch o kò sí ní ìṣòro àtà máa ń rà nílé wa ti punch lọ. Ẹ má lọ fumble o ẹ lọ ń ṣe fake news ẹ lọ ń mislead the general public. Òrò àwọn Libra òrèlè àwọn Libra ti wá ibi tẹ́ ti Sunday Igboho dé Yinka do something about your race. We believe in you. You have the capacity. Don't believe in me. The conservative believe in me. We're conservative, we're not liberal. We don't do with PDP Yoruba. We support Yoruba APC. Tinubu is our leader. Tinubu ló máa forí kó jáde. Tó bá ti forí kó gbogbo problem Yoruba. Tó bá ti land sí Abuja. Àwa máa ní free ride. Òṣòṣì. Ẹ̀yin Libra. Ẹ lọ jẹ́ kí Sunday Igboho jáde. Àwa conservative náà là ń ṣiṣẹ́ o. Ẹ jẹ́ ń purọ́ tẹ́ sọ pé Ọbásanjọ́ lọ bá wọn ní Benin Republic pé kí wọ́n fi Sunday Igboho. Irọ́ ni ó lọ bàtàyè Sunday Igboho jẹ́ síbẹ̀ ni. Ó lọ bàtàyè Sunday Igboho ó lọ negotiate kan gbé Sunday Igboho wá sí Nàìjíríà ni Ọbásanjọ́. Yeah, Punch newspaper has been taken over by the Igbo. They are just using the Yoruba there as a cover. Punch newspaper is no longer Yoruba newspaper. Yeah, more disappointed. That was why we issue a statement. Lenny, wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí misinform general public lórí Tinubu. Àní jẹ́ káwọn èèyàn ra newspaper yín mọ́ àbí kan kà á. Máa categorize yín as anti-Yoruba ni very soon. Ẹ lọ ń kó àwọn Igbo lọ ń bá yín post. Àwọn Igbo lọ ń manage Twitter account yín, manage Facebook account yín. Wọ́n wá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ṣe propaganda. Ẹ jẹ́ ti já wèrè. Wọ́n máa ń fún mi ní coverage dáadáa. Mo ní personal relationship pẹ̀lú wọn o. Every time wọ́n máa ń follow up lórí court case mi o. Ìgbà tán wọ́n adjourn lẹ́ẹ̀mejì because wọ́n fẹ́ rán representative wa sí court. Wọ́n náà sí mi o. But à ń sọ òótọ́ ni. A lè sọ pé torí pé ẹ náà sí wa, ẹ ń ṣe kíní kẹwàá máa undermine interest Yorùbá. A máa campaign against Punch newspaper tẹ́ ẹ̀ bá ṣọ́ra o. Because newspaper ta ti ń kà láti ìgbà ta ti kéré nìyẹn. Kò wá lè jẹ́ sìn pẹ́pẹ́ máa wá live on propaganda. Torí bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ kọ́ àwọn Igbo síbẹ̀. Tẹ́ ti tà fún Igbo, tẹ́ bá ti tà fún Igbo kẹ́jẹ́ ká mọ̀ ká kúrò mẹ́ka yé kà mọ́. Tá bá tún observe mi, tá bá rí pé misinformation lẹ wá ń ṣe ń sìn. A máa ṣe campaign lórí yín ni káwọn Yorùbá má kà mọ́ rárá. Ẹ dẹ̀ máa lose ni. Yeah, ẹ fún mi support. Mo appreciate ẹ. Mo rí support lọ́dọ̀ Punch newspaper. Wọ́n take care, wọ́n wà interested nípa welfare mi. Wọ́n máa ń fẹ́ mọ gbogbo nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ nípa court case mi. But a lè sọ pé torí pé mo ní personal relationship pẹ̀lú yín that is good. Kẹ́ wá máa condemn Yorùbá nation. Kò make sense. Because ó take me time kí tó jáde ó dùn mí gan fún gbogbo tá à ń rí Punch newspaper tó ń ṣe o. Gbàtẹ́ kì í ṣe Sahara reporter. Cable news, cable online, kẹ̀bí ọmọ half Fúlàní ìlú ni tó ṣiṣẹ́ fún Yar'Adua tẹ́lẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀. Kọ́ládé àbí ló porúkọ ẹ̀. Ó wà ń ta Yorùbá. But kì í ṣe fake news. Ó kàn wà pro Hausa Fúlàní ni. A kì í lọ síbẹ̀, a kì í source information lọ́dọ̀ ẹ̀. Òun ló ń pè mí ní supremacist kí Punch tó dá sí kó tó dá lóhùn pé no, Adeyinka Grandson is a Yoruba nationalist. But Punch on ló ti wá ń ṣe propaganda sí. Ó wà disappointing o. Yeah. Ṣé ní gbogbo àwọn èèyàn ló ti sọ sí fake news lẹ́kàn ń ṣe ní Punch. Mo actually observe wọn o. Mo kàn ti rí pé wọ́n ti employ Igbo ni. Lọ bí wèrè. Yeah, let me quickly answer my VP. Ọkọ̀ ṣe tó wù wọ́n ni. Thank you, Madam Kehinde. Yeah, I told people that Obasanjo went to Benin Republic to persuade their president to extradite Igboho back to Nigeria. People don't believe me. Obasanjo will never support Yoruba interest. That is it. Yeah, information thank God. What deceive me? All Obasanjo lọ sí Benin Republic kan lọ gbé Sunday Igboho wá. No, ó ní kan lọ fi Sunday Igboho lẹ̀. Ó ní kan gbé padà wá sí Nàìjíríà nìkan tó lọ ṣe mẹ́ Ọbásanjọ́ wèrè. Mo candidate fún president ní 2023 Sule Lamido. Ọbásanjọ́ ọmọ Igbo á protect interest Yorùbá mo rò bí ní common sense wọ́n kàn ṣe propaganda fún ẹ̀dẹ̀ sọ pé ẹ mọ̀ òwe. Ọbásanjọ́ will never support Yoruba interest. Ọbásanjọ́ went to Benin Republic ó sọ pé kí wọ́n gbé Sunday Igboho padà sí Nàìjíríà. Event tó ti ṣẹlẹ̀ ń sìn kò ní jẹ́ kí wọ́n lè gbé Sunday Igboho padà because Abba Kyari àbí kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ ẹni tán ṣe ń protect ẹ̀ ni. Àwọn kan tún gọ̀ wọ́n ní ọmọ Kanuri nítorí pé ó ń gbé Maiduguri ọ̀dẹ̀ ọmọ Kanuri. Tó bá mọ nǹkan tí Tinubu presidency máa open Yorùbá àìsí wàá rí àwọn tó máa wà ní gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì Tinubu Kanuri á pọ̀ ju Fúlàní àtàwùsà lọ but Haúsá ló máa jẹ gọ́vnọ̀ lá máa jẹ senator nílẹ̀ Haúsá because wọn kì í jẹ́ àwọn Fúlàní ti lo power of presidency láti suppress àwọn people yẹn ẹ wá fẹ́ dì pẹ̀lú Fúlàní ẹ máa jẹ́ kí àwọn Haúsá kó jẹ gọ́vnọ̀ ní north west kán jẹ senator kán jẹ house of rep kán jẹ commissioner kán jẹ deputy governor kán jẹ gbogbo ẹ̀ ibẹ̀ yẹn lẹ máa rí game Haúsá àti Fúlàní máa para wọn dáadáa lọ́ndà Tinubu presidency yìnbọn fúnra wọn para wọn gbogbo òṣì tó ṣẹlẹ̀ pé terrorism tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ni gbogbo ẹ̀ máa lọ sílẹ̀ wọn máa kojú ara wọn ni tí Tinubu bá smart which he is ó máa decentralize àní kan máa dì pẹ̀lú situation ara wọn bẹ̀. wàá di pé Kanuri alẹ́nu ní gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì Tinubu gan àwọn supporter Yorùbá nìyẹn àwọn tó mórí Igbo mórí olùsí làwọn Igbo. We must not allow whole generation 90 years old like Baba Adebanjo and Akintoye to lead our generation. They have had their days and they should relax now. Now, thank you, sir. Everybody mo sọ̀rọ̀ tí mo sọ pé bàbá yẹn ṣé gbogbo èèyàn mọ̀ pé half Yorùbá ni bàbá yẹn. Professor Banji Akintoye. Ìgbà tí mo expose ẹ̀ tí mo sọ pé half Yorùbá ni àwọn stupid Libra yẹn. Wọ́n wá lọ sọ pé kò matter. Wọ́n lọ ṣe fídíò pé kò matter kó jẹ́ half Yorùbá. Half Yoruba ò lè protect interest Yorubaland. Ẹ má yẹ kẹ́ni kankan tàn yín. Half Yoruba ò lè protect interest Yorubaland. Thank you so much, Mr. Kazeem. Obasanjo said it publicly that he would never join the Yoruba agitators to fight for Yoruba nation. Obasanjo can never fight to save Igbo. Rather, he wishes him dead. That is it. Ibi tí mo ti mọ̀ pé Yorùbá gọ̀ nìyẹn. Àwọn náà ní àwọn people ní Benin Republic tó lè fún wa ní information but information ta source nínú Nàìjíríà láti source ẹ̀. Ipò Ọbásanjọ́ lọ sí Benin Republic ó lọ sọ fún president wọn ipò gbọ́dọ̀ dá Ìgbòho padà. Wọ́n fẹ́ ṣèmú Yorùbá ni. Àwọn conservative ló help Ìgbòho. Gbogbo àwọn tó jọ ń ṣe Yorùbá agitators wọ́n ti move on. Ọpẹ́lọpẹ́ yẹ ìyá mi even though jẹ́ pé generation ìyá mi yẹn wọ́n bad wọ́n ṣe but mo wá ń bá wọn argue àwọn náà dẹ̀ máa ń bá mi argue padà torí ìyá mi wà well educated wọ́n máa ń bá mi argue gan padà. Ìyá mi ló sọ fún mi pé okay tó bá ti mọ ṣòro Yorùbá pípé àwọn Libra tó sọ yìí ni má bá wọn ṣe torí wọ́n máa hàn mẹ́. That's why jẹ́ mi ò lè bá wọn ṣe ó tì wọ́n mo remove wọn from my circle of influence completely. Tí Tinubu bá ti jẹ president tán torí yín bá reset tẹ bá ṣe ti Yorùbá I take care of you. Bọ̀kú máa bá Libra ṣe wọ́n máa tì ẹ́ sójú kú ni wọ́n ń ṣe full blooded Yorùbá náà wọ́n wá ti full blooded wọ́n á tì wọ́n sójú kú wọ́n á padà lẹ́yìn wọn. Gbogbo wọn ti move on lọ wọ́n ti fi Sunday Igboho personal owó ẹ̀ gan ló máa ná bó ṣe wà yẹn wọ́n ti fi sílẹ̀ pẹ̀lú wàhálà ẹ̀. Ìgbà tí wọ́n arrest mi ní 2019 fún terrorism gbogbo wọn ṣe ń jubilate gbogbo àwọn tó ń ṣe agitator sí tó sọ pé Odùduwà agitator Olúwa Elédùmarè gbọ́, they were all happy pé wọ́n arrest me for terrorism. Meanwhile èmi mo start agitation fún Odùduwà Republic o. Wọ́n ló start láti máa campaign o, kí dẹ́ ṣe pé a campaign nìkan, a tún ṣe ìwé lórí ẹ̀. Gbogbo àwọn agitators yẹn they were happy wọ́n arrest me in 2019. Ìgbà tí mo fún Igbo ní ultimatum, all of them were calling for my arrest. Ṣẹlẹ̀ bí àwọn máa nífẹ̀ẹ́ Sunday Igboho, wọn nífẹ̀ẹ́, wọ́n ti bá débi tó wà yẹn. Mo ti sọ lọ́jọ́ kan pé wọ́n ṣe arrest Sunday Igboho yẹn pé àwọn pípín á relax for a while, wọ́n á tún padà pẹ̀lú propaganda wọn. Ẹ wo wọ́n ṣe gbé propaganda Tinubu jáde, tán bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí sọ oríṣiríṣi ọ̀rọ̀ lórí Tinubu. Ó ti kú, ó ti ṣe gbogbo ẹ̀. Olóṣì ni wọ́n, pípọ̀ yóò ṣe Yorùbá ẹ̀ẹ̀kan mọ́ ní torí pé wọ́n ń lórúkọ Yorùbá. Orí bí a ṣe lé lédi yẹn wọlẹ̀ ni Adétóhùn Ọ̀nàjọ́bí, bó bá ṣe lé wọlẹ̀, a expose ẹ̀. Ẹnu ẹ̀ bàbá máa so ṣe ọ̀rọ̀. Ẹ̀rí bọ̀bọ̀ ìtàn pè ní Abísóyè Òṣòdì. Gbogbo nǹkan tí mo sọ nu fídíò mi ló tún sọ ń sìn, wọ́n rí kan ṣe kan, wọ́n lè ṣe research on their own. Wọ́n máa ń plagiarize ni. Àwọn á fi Yorùbá. Ta ló mọ̀ ní wípé Bọ̀dé George kì í ṣe Yorùbá? Bọ̀dé George ń ṣe Yorùbá. Ojoojúmọ́ á máa sọ̀rọ̀. Okay. Now, we've had enough time, Jerry. Ẹ ṣé gan ni. A kò máa yọ sí yín lẹ́ẹ̀kọ̀ọ̀kan ni. Thank you very much. Good night.